गुरवे नमः। नमः ॐ विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिन् इति नामिने। नमस्ते सारस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे। नमो महावदन्याय कृष्णप्रेमप्रदायते कृष्णाय कृष्णचैतन्य नामिने गौरतुषे नमः। हे कृष्णा करुणा सिन्धु दीनबन्धो जगत्पते गोपेशा गोपिकान्ता राधाकान्ता नमोऽस्तुते। तप्तकाञ्चन गौराङ्गी राधे वृन्दावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्येव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौरभक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। Hare Krishna. Welcome to all the devotees for our weekly Bhakti Vokulas. So, in the previous classes, we were discussing about the structure of the Bhumandala with its division, subdivisions, etc. from Bhagavatam first, and then we have also read from the book known as Bhugola Varnanam. From that also we have understood few more details: how Bhumandala look like, how Jambudipa look like, how Bharatavarsha look like, how Bharatakanda look like, etc. etc. All those things, some inside details we have studied in the previous class. And in the last class, we ended with though so many things are discussed in the Bhagavatam, but still we are not able to see many of these things. Why? What is the reason? So that's where we stopped. And today we'll try to understand a little bit about why Mount Meru, the bigger Himalayas, the Jambudipa, even the other 8 Kandas of Bharatavarsha, even the Bharatakanda, the beneath the Bharatakanda there is the ice column, even that ice column also.
Prabhuji, we are not able to hear you.
Hare Krishna. Okay, we are not able to
I think
hear.
Prabhuji is not there on the group. I think probably his network is poor, I guess.
Maybe.
We'll wait for some time.
Yeah, yeah.
Hare Krishna, devotees are able to hear me?
Now, yes, Prabhu, we had lost you for
Uh,
some time.
no. Actually, there is some internet issue, so that's why it has
Okay.
logged off. Again, I logged in. Sorry. So now we'll try to understand how some things are seen by us and some things are not seen by us. Actually, not some things, many things are not seen by us that have been present in the Bhagavatam. So this is the question of faith. So you are talking about so many things, but where are they? People always ask this simple question. Fine, you are speaking so many things, but where are they? When will I able to see all these things? Where is Mount Meru? You're talking about big things about Mount Meru, big things about the Himalayas and all. Where are they? Can I see them? This is a general question. So at least whatever little understanding we have from these different books. So in this presentation, we are trying to present why these things are not visible to us. Should we accept them or not? Just because they are mentioned in the Bhagavatam and other Vedic literature, should we accept simply blindly, or there should be some rational to accept it? So today we'll try to understand it. The only simple answer which Srila Vadira Tirtha gives in his book Bhugola is Adrushya Datava Sarve Samutpanna Jala Adaya. So why we are not able to see all these things that are there around us? Why we are only seeing the Earth globe alone and some planets here and there, some stars here and there floating around in the ether? Why not all other things that are mentioned in the Bhagavatam? He does not give any explanation, but he simply gives one phrase. Adrushya Datava Sarve Samutpanna Jala Adaya. Jala Adaya means the 24 elements starting with earth, water, fire, ether, which combining which the entire universe is made and all the planetary systems are made. So he says that these all the objects made up of these 24 elements sometimes take the status of Adrushya, invisibility. How and why? Because of the difference in composition. When these 24 elements combine together in one composition, they'll be visible. At other place, they'll not be visible. That is the answer. So I have put some examples to help us understand. So let us see if it helps us understand. So then, having stated this, Srila Vajratirtha, the translators who are translating this book into English from Sanskrit, and they say that people ask this question always. Whomsoever we come across, they first of all they ask this question. So now, instead of answering this question, the translator is counter questioning. He says, the question of the question is, will our scientists ever get over the human tendency of succumbing to pride and prejudice in order to know the truth? Matlab, can the rational person hmm, who says proudly that seeing is believing, okay, can he for some time keep that attitude little aside? Will they use a little introspection to shift from the mere physical to the spiritual? Okay, that is fine. Depending upon Pratyaksha is all good. But sometimes, for some subject matters, we need to depend upon spiritual. That means Shabda also. Pratyaksha alone does not give complete information sometimes. Sometimes we need to depend upon Shabda. Then they say that let the wise build up a growing community to save the world from the darkness of materialism. Let them hold the torch of spiritual light. Let there be a renaissance of religious culture based on revelations. Yes, Pratyaksha is required, but everything is not explained by Pratyaksha alone. Sometimes we need to depend upon Shabda also. So, like that. So, now some simple examples to help us understand how these 24 elements are taking the status of invisibility, which we can relate to the things around us also. Some simple things. Water. When water is in solid state, ice cubes, You can hold, you can play with it, you can use it, whatever. When it is liquid, you need some vessel to hold it. You cannot hold just like that. Otherwise, water will go downward wherever it finds pathway. And the same water takes the status of vaporous state. Will not be able to see it. Here we can see and hold and play. Here we can see and make an endeavor to hold it. But here we can't even see. Then what to speak of holding it? In hot summer when the water is evaporating from the water body, we can't see it. Same water only. Solid state, liquid state, gaseous state. We can't see. Now, second example, dust. When it is solid, you can hold. When it is liquid, you can make an endeavor to hold. When it is thrown into dust, you can't see. Normally, we can't see. But if you are staying in a dark room and there is a window and there is a sunlight coming through that window into the dark room, and in that sunlight, you can see dust particles are moving here and there. Same dust only. Here we can see and play. Here we try to. Here we can't. Water only. The water and dust. Sometimes it is visible, sometimes not visible. And now you may say that, how can you take this example? Here density is more, here also density is more, density is very less. And same way here for water also, here density is more, here density is medium, here density is very less. So because of the less density you can't see. So is it like that? May or may not, we don't know. Some more appropriate example we'll take. Gold. Gold in our place is completely jada, lifeless. We can transform it the way we want. Just like our material body is dead matter, gold is also dead matter. And the gold in the spiritual world is completely spiritual, Chinmaya. It is full of life. Just like Lord Krishna interacts with all the birds and plants, similarly, Lord also interacts with golden ornaments. See, whatever Lord is bedecked with all the different variety of golden ornaments, every golden ornament is one living entity. They can interact, they can exchange their emotions with the Supreme Lord. There is nothing called as Jada. There is no difference between the Dehi and Deha. So everything is Jiva only. Everything is conscious entity. Fine. So here the matter is Jada. Here the matter is spirit. But in between, the matter is neither Jada nor spirit. It is in between. It is Deva. It is divine, subtle in nature. So now the example is about Indra. So Indra, he wears beautiful golden ornaments. He also wears silken garments. He travels on his Airavat, etc. etc. So in Mahabharata, we hear the story that Kunti Maharani prayed for Indra to have a son. So Indra appeared, blessed Kunti with a son, that is Arjuna, and Indra disappeared. So when Indra appeared, he appeared along with the golden ornaments, flower garland, and silken garments, and Airavata. When he disappeared along with all these golden ornaments, flower garland, and silken garments, and Airavata, everything appeared and disappeared. So then afterwards, he is not visible. So it means the Devatas generally they are not visible, but sometimes they can make themselves visible by their own will, sweet will. Not always. When they are pleased with us, they can make themselves visible to all of us. Otherwise, normally they remain invisible. So this is the appropriate example for our discussion. So, for example, you see here the golden ornaments remain here. We may be wearing them, we may not be wearing them. We can keep in almara. We may die also after our death. Also, the golden ornaments remain there only. There is nothing like that. Here, even the golden ornaments are eternal like the Supreme Lord. They actually have full of life symptoms and interact with the Supreme Lord, etc. etc. Here, Indra has mystic power, and Indra's ornaments also seem to have mystic power. They are also appearing along with Indra, and they are disappearing along with Indra. So we may say that, okay, no, it is Indra's mystic power making them appear and disappear. That is also fine. Since it belongs to Indra, so they are also mystic, like that we can say. So that is the understanding. So now we have already seen that in Jambudipa, except Bharata Varsha, remaining 8 Varshas are known as Bhauma Swarga. And the remaining 6 Dvipas are also known as Bhauma Swarga. So in one sense, except Bharata Varsha, remaining part of the Bhumandala is all Bhauma Swarga. So since it is heavenly, generally it is not visible, it is not supposed to be visible to us. That's why it is not visible to us. And when they are pleased by us, they will show themselves to us. It is like that. If we extend a little bit this one, the greater Himalayas also being part of this Bhauma Swarga, not visible to us. The 8 Kandas within Bharata Varsha, other than Bharata Kanda, remaining 8 Kandas, we can extrapolate the same principle. Though they are part of Bharata Varsha, but still, for the time being, we can use the same logic. They are also not visible to us with the same logic. And then the column which is connecting the earth globe with the saltwater ocean below. The saltwater ocean which is surrounding Jambudipa is also part of Jambudipa. That is also part of Bhauma. That's why generally it is not visible. And the column which is joining the Jambudipa, saltwater ocean surrounding Jambudipa and the Bhartakanda, starting from Bhartakanda it is visible. When it is reaching saltwater ocean, it is not visible. That means it is visible to some extent. Afterwards, since it is connected to Bhaumaswarga realm, it becomes invisible. So like this, we may try to understand why all these places such as bigger Himalayas and Mount Meru and all not visible to us. But they can be visible to some people when the deities of these places are pleased by them. For example, Madhvacharya was directly called by Vyasdev to the upper Himalayas. So Madhvacharya went to upper Himalayas, had interacted with Vyasadev and then spent some good amount of time there and came back. 2 times he went there. Some people can do interact. Arjuna went to the upper Himalayas to please Lord Shiva. He performed severe tapasya. Finally, he had a fight with Lord Shiva himself, and then eventually Lord Shiva pleased and gave him Pashpatasara. Arjuna could perceive it. So, like that, there are many such great kings who been to heaven and became Indra also sometimes, and some fought for the Devatas against the Asuras. So, like that, there are some of the people who are fortunate, they could do all these things. They could go travel all these places and do the needful and come back. So, it is like that. So when they are pleased with us, they make themselves visible to us. So now, to my understanding is that since just like Indra is mystic, Indra's belongings are also became mystic, and hence Indra's abode, that is main Swargaloka, and also other abodes also become mystic as Indra. Thus, they are not visible normally, but when they are pleased with us, they can give their darshan to all of us. So like that. So this is how we can understand this particular principle, why they are not visible, why they are visible. Similarly, same thing we can also extend to the current phenomena. From last 3 days, all the devotee community are sending so many mails, right, left, here, there. What is happening with Chandrayaan 3? Where they are going? Where what is happening? Are they able to land on the moon? Is it really moon or when there are one moon or two moons? What's happening, etc., etc. At least my understanding is there is only one moon, but that moon is occupied by the devatas. It has that divine potency. So normally we cannot see it, but when the deity of the moon is pleased with us, he can give us the complete audience. But we say that now we are seeing the moon every day. Is it the same moon or different moon? Yes, it's the same moon, but he is visible to us because he has a couple of services to do. One service is the deity for the mind, is the present deity of the mind. Second thing is the deity of Oshadi, all the vegetation and plants, etc. Flower plants, food plants, etc. All plants are nourished by the moonlight or the moon's cooling rays, and by them, all of us, all other living entities are also nourished. So for that seva, the outer surface of the moon planet is visible to us, emitting white, cooling moon rays. So now who will be pleased with us? And when a person will be pleased with us, and when he is pleased, how does he reciprocate with us? So for that, our understanding is ye etamam prapadyante tamstaiva bhajamiham. As Lord Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita that the way one surrenders to me, I reciprocate with them accordingly. Similarly, the way we treat moon, the way we consider the moon. So if we consider the moon to be like our earth globe only, is also another globe. So earth globe there is water, minerals, land, plants. So if we think that moon also will have all these things, and with that intention to understand all these things, yeah, moon will reciprocate with us like that only. If we understand moon to be Pitruloka, abode of the Chandra and other Pitru Devatas and other things, and with that intention we worship and go try to make an attempt to go to moon, the moon will reciprocate accordingly. So it is simple. He is also a person, and he will reciprocate it according to our surrender and our desire to perceive him. So these are a couple of words from my section, my side. So this is how we can see from this part and that part. So all the heavenly abodes, Bhuvarloka, Sargaloka, and the Bhauma Sarga and Bila Sargas, all those things which are supposed to be around us, in their actual reality are not visible to us because they have the divine potency. So when can we see them? So one simple formula is Natumam Shakke Drashtum Anenaiva Sachakshusha Divyam Dadate Chakshuhu Pashame Yogam Aisharam. Even when Arjuna said that if I am qualified to see your universal form, please give me darshan. Otherwise, please, it's okay. Then Lord Krishna tells, actually, with your eyes, you cannot see the universal form. But I'll give you Divya Chakshu. Divya Chakshu means the Devata eyes. With normal human eyes, we can't see the heavenly abodes, the heavenly personalities. So all these, the universal form is nothing but the combination of all the Devatas who are there in the heaven, who are responsible for the maintenance of the entire universe. So Arjuna cannot see that. So Lord Krishna says that I'll give you the divine chakshu, the divine eyes with which you can see. So Arjuna got the Devata eyes and he saw everything, all the Devatas assembled together in the universal form he saw. Later on, or much before that, sometime before that, after pleasing Lord Shiva blesses Arjuna that may you go to heaven and learn all the heavenly weapons from the Devatas, Indra and other Devatas, so that you can use all the weapons in the upcoming battle. So with the blessings of Lord Shiva, later on with the blessings of Indra, Arjuna could see in the heaven. He could stay in the heaven for 5 days according to heavenly calculations, 5 years according to our calculations. So because they allowed him to come there and to stay there to interact with them, yes, he could do it. Same way, when they allow us, when they are pleased by us, they will reveal themselves to us. Or a personality like Lord Krishna, if he gives divine eyes, we can see everything that is there in the entire universe. So it is like that. So thus, we are only able to see this Bharatakanda alone. This greater Himalayas, the other mountains and Mount Meru and these Kesharachal mountains, etc. All these things we are not able to see because of Adrushya Datava Sarve Samutpanna Jaladaya. Or all these things are part of Bhauma Sarga. Bhauma Sarga means heavenly abodes, and heavens are beyond our sensual perception. We can't see them by our own endeavor. What we see is to the extent their duties are performed upon us. Similarly, sun also, from sun is supposed to be the deity of light and warmth. So we see sun as a burning ball, but within that burning ball also there is a full abode Surya Loka. In that word Surya is there, his wives are there, family member, children, everyone is there. So that aspect of Surya Loka is generally not seen by us. So what we see Surya is only that entity which emits us heat and light, because that is the service. Only that service aspect is shown to us. Their constitutional aspects are not shown to us. So like that. So in connection to this, there is a small story which comes in Mahabharata from Vanaparva, Alopakyana Parva. So this is a famous story. There are movies also made on this, dramas are also made. So basically it says that Damayanti's Swayamvar has been announced. Actually before that, there is one interesting thing happened. Just like Rukmini Devi used to hear about Lord Krishna from various personalities who would visit Kaunyapur, all the great Brahmanas and great sages who would keep traveling different places and who would visit Kaunyapur, all of them would speak about Lord Krishna to Mother Rukmini. And Rukmini developed affection for Lord Krishna. She wanted to marry Lord Krishna. Similarly, there was a swan which used to go to and fro. It used to give the information about Damayanti to Nala and information about Nala to Damayanti. So like that, each of them developed attraction to each other. They wanted to marry. So Damayanti requested, informed his her father that I want to marry Nala. So they said that no, if you marry like that, the other Kshatriya community will become angry. So let us announce Swayamvar. In the Swayamvar, you select in front of everyone. You select Nala so that everyone will become calm. Damayanti says okay. So Damayanti is so beautiful that the details about her beauty went all the way up to heaven also. Even the heavenly devatas became attracted to her beauty. They wanted to marry her. They also came down for the Damayanti Swayamvar. The next day morning is Swayamvar. The previous night, all the devatas caught hold of one person that was actually Nala and told him, you go to inner chambers and tell the queen that we came from heavenly abodes. She should marry one of us. Otherwise, we'll curse her. Something like that, Devata said. So Nala, disguising himself like a messenger, went into inner chambers and informed Damayanti that so and so Devatas have come. They want to marry you, so you should accept them tomorrow. Damayanti said that, my dear sir, please convey this message to Devatas that I have already given my heart to Nala. I would like to marry Nala, and may all of you go back to your respective abodes by blessing us. So hearing this message, the Devatas became angry. Yeah, you are so impudent. You does not want to marry us. We'll see how will you marry Nala tomorrow. So like that, they said. Next day morning, all the Devatas came to that Swayamvara assembly area, assuming the form of Nala. So that entire chamber is filled with so many Nalas, hundreds of Nalas are there. Everyone is surprised. What happening? So eventually, when the Damayanti came, she was also surprised that so many Nalas are there around her. So she understood all the Devatas are trying to uh, play with me. So she kneeled upon her feet, and then she offered obeisances and she prayed to the Devatas, my dear Devatas, please forgive me. I am not impudent, but I've already given my heart to Nala. I want to marry him. May all of you please assume your original forms and bless us so that we can live happily. Then some of the Devatas who are in the form of Nala, they said that, so my dear Damayanti, if you understand who is which one among us is the actual Nala, then we will not disturb your marriage. We'll show our forms and go back. Then Damayanti was examining. So her examination is mentioned in a couple of verses. Because she is a princess, she know what is what. So in that examination, it is said that Sa Pashyad Vibuda Sarvan Asvedan Stabdalochanan Rishta Sragra Joni Chakrajo Hinan Stinan Asprishatakshitim. It is said that Stitan Asprishatakshitim. Damayanti then beheld all the devatas not perspiring. So all the devatas, Vibhuda means all the devatas, Sarvan, Asvedan, their bodies does not perspire. We just standing on the sunlight and walking here and there we perspire, start perspiring. But devatas does not perspire. Their bodies are crystal clear. Stabda Lochana, with fixed eyes, they don't blink their eyelids. Their eyes are always open. And Rushita, Srigra, Jo Hinan, their garlands are not at all faded. The garlands which are there around their neck, which they wore. So for their lifetime, the garland never fades. But for us, if we wear in the morning, by afternoon it will be faded. So, and then Sitan Asprishitakshitim, even though they are seated on the asanas which are given to them, they are not touching the seat and their feet is not touching the ground. Yes, all these things are there. So these are the qualities of Devatas. Devatas do not perspire. They do not blink their eyelids. Their garlands never fade. If their garlands are fading, means they are going to leave heaven. They are going to die. Something like that. And their feet does not touch the ground. And then next verse. Chaya dvitiyo malan asragraha ja sweda samanvita bhumisto nai sadastaiva nimishena cha suchita. So it says that she, Damayanti, on the other hand, saw the Virginala standing preeminent on the ground with his shadow, unlike the Devatas. And one more point which was not mentioned in the previous slide is that, previous verse is that the Devatas do not cast shadow. But here one person who is actually standing on the ground and his whole body is giving shadow. So this entire Swayamvar ceremony is happening in the open ground. So there is sunlight. It is noon time already. So this because of sunlight, their body is casting shadow, and since it is they are standing in the sun, full of perspiration, and their garland is his garland is worn out. Since we wore in the morning, and they are all waiting for the princess that what is this the Rajkumari Damayanti to come. So in that way, and then he was also seated on the ground with blinking eyes. Matlab when he said sat on the asan, he is actually sitting on the asan, his feet is touching the ground and his eyes are blinking. So she saw all these things in one person and other persons not doing all these things. Then she understood that all those people who are not blinking their eyes, whose bodies are not perspiring, whose garlands are not faded, whose bodies are not casting shadow, whose feet is not touching the ground, he understood they are all devatas. The one person who has all these things is actual Nala. She selected that Nala and she married him. So it is like that. So here the point is the Devatas' bodies do not cast shadow wherever they may be, whether they may be in heaven or they come to earth. In both the cases, their body do not cast shadow. So what do you mean by something do not cast shadow? When they are not visible, anyway there will be no problem. But when they are visible in the middle of the daytime, there is sun in the sky, still they are not casting shadow means what? Even though they are visible to us, it is as good as they are not existing. For example, when the sun goes this side, the people always ask this question. So when sun is this side of the Jambudvipa or Mount Meru, the sunlight is falling, coming to Earth globe like this. It is supposed to pass through all these mountains and also Mount Meru. Are they do not block sunlight? How this America will get sunlight always? The understanding is that even though all these mountains are there, they do not cast shadow. The sunlight passes through all of them. They all act like the transparent via medium, like the mirror, like the glass, transparent glass. Sunlight passes through them and comes to America easily without any issue. So that is the understanding. Even though they are there, they are not visible normally. Even though sometimes when they are visible, they do not cast shadow. The sunlight passes through them and comes to the visible Bharatakanda. So this is the understanding. This is how why these places are visible and some of them are not visible. So like that. So all of you are able to follow this.
Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna.
Yes, Prabhuji, some of the things we followed, at least I followed. Few of the things are little confusion. Like Prabhuji, you mentioned now that all the other varshas are Bhauma Swargas, and so that is why we cannot see them. Like so, but in Bharat Varsha, whatever the other 8 varshas are there, they are not the Bhauma Swargas, na Prabhuji. So
Yes,
why?
yes, they are not Bhoma Swarga, but there is no clear-cut information why we are not able to see. So that's why I'm saying that we can extend the same principle to other 8 kandas also. That's why we are not able to see them. So, matlab, I don't know exact reason, but I'm just kind of extending the other reason to them also.
Yeah, and they are adjacent also, no? And in between
Ah,
there are mountains. So,
hmm,
anyways, through the mountains, we are not going to see that.
hmm. Okay. Yes, Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
You mentioned that sunlight passes through those mountains.
Hmm.
Now, what about Lokalok mountain? It blocks the sunlight and creates this andhatamas.
Yeah, that is also one more point. So, one devotee asked me one question. Okay, fine. So you say that the sunlight is blocking and the sunlight is not blocked by this Mount Meru and all other things. But we have also
Hmm.
discussed couple of last class that Bhumandala at every given point of time, half day and half night, if the sunlight is passing through the mountains, how they are having day and night, then it can pass through the Bhumandala also. Last time we saw the slide that because the sunlight cannot pass through Bhumandala, the other part is actually experiencing night time. See here. So if the
Hmm.
sunlight can pass through Mount Meru, can pass through Bhumandala also. Then this side should be having brightness. Why they are having darkness? This was the question one devotee asked. The same thing what you are asking also somewhat connected to that. So
Hmm.
since Shastra does not explain everything in great detail, so this is my logical explanation. So since the entire Bhumandala can be seen as Bhaumaswarga, but in that Bhumandala there is something called a the Bharata Varsha, which is Karma Bhumi. And within that Karma Bhumi, within that Bharata Varsha, there is Bharatakanda, which is our earth globe on which we are living. So now we divide the entire Bhumandala into two parts. One is Bhaumaswarga, other one is Karma Bhumi. For now, the Karma Bhumi is Bharatakanda alone, and the rest of the Bhumandala is Bhaumaswarga. So Sun reciprocates with Bharatakanda in one way and reciprocates the rest of the Bhumandala in another way. So when he is reciprocating with Bharatakanda, the rest of the Bhumandala becomes a transparent via medium. That particular rays of the sun which are coming to Bharatakanda have nothing to do with the remaining part of the Bhumandala. So for these sun rays, the remaining part of the Bhumandala becomes simply a transparent via medium. So fine. Now the second thing. So keep the Bharatakanda aside. For the remaining Bhumandala, the sun sends a different category of sun rays. And that sun rays are subtle in nature. And since Bhumandala is also subtle in nature, the sun rays are subtle in nature, they interact like one grass object, how it interacts with another grass object. How our grass light and grass wall are acting like a the dropping object. So the light in the tube light within our room does not go outside our room because it cannot penetrate through the wall because both are grass in that nature, in their nature of existence. Similarly, the subtle sun rays coming from sun interact with the subtle Bhumandala the same way, just like the one grass light interact in the grass subject matter. Because of that, those certain sunlights does not transmit via the Bhumandala. This portion of the Bhumandala becomes dark. for the time being. So this is how I explained that time. The same explanation I'm also giving every time. So otherwise we can't explain, because these two are of different natures. The sun also provides the different sunlights to these two places, and the principle is same, but how it is interacting with them, it differs. So grass sunlight is interacting with grass Bharatakanda, the subtle sunlight is interacting with the subtle Bhumandala, and hence they will have the day and night in a subtle level. On the earth we have day and night on the grass level. So this is my understanding.
So, Prabhuji, the sun has the potency to interact with different planets or different objects differently according to its.
Obviously, why not? Sun is actually one of the Shakti Avesh avatar of the Supreme Lord. So even the
So,
heavenly abodes also having day and night. I mean, moon planet also having day and night. So there should be some special interaction with them.
and so also the moon, it can
Ah,
interact with the different objects according to its um,
hmm.
relation.
Yes.
It's like this.
According to their
Okay.
constitutional position, the sun reciprocates with each and every one according to their constitutional position. Since we are a grass, he will reciprocate with grassly. They are subtle, he will reciprocate with them in a subtle way. So like that we can understand.
Thank you. Thank you.
Correct. So other devotees.
Prabhuji, then what about the Loka mountain, Prabhuji? From there also the sun rays doesn't pass now,
See,
but it is.
Loka mountain is there. Outside Loka mountain is again, it is all Aloka Varsha. It is all Garbhodaka ocean only.
But
So,
the sun rays all the luminaries, sun, moon, their rays are not passing through the Loka mountain. That is why that other side is dark. Na?
yes. So that's what
So
I'm saying now. Even the Bhumandala thing also, even Mount Meru also will block sunlight for the other part of the Jambudipa. But Mount Meru does not block sunlight which is coming to Bhartakanda. That is subtle. In that subtle phenomena, they again have the same law. It will block. A subtle object can block subtle sunlight. So like that, Loka Parvata also will block those subtle sunlight from going to Aloka Varsha region. The grass laws with which we are familiar should apply only to Bhartakanda. So that law you cannot apply to other places. For other places, there are subtle laws. That's why we can't even see Loka mountain also, because that is a subtle abode that is coming
yeah,
from Garbhodaka ocean.
in fact, it's an
So in that way.
extension of Garbhodakoshan, and Lord is
Hmm.
also staying on that mountain. Na? So it is all the more spiritual.
Yes. Lord is also staying above the mountain.
Okay, thank you.
Correction. So other devotees are able to follow?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Mataji.
I was just thinking, Roji, whatever you said just now in terms of answering the questions about the subtlety of these planets. Now, because we've been reading the Shastra and we have complete faith, so we kind of accept. But if the
Hmm.
same thing I want to put up to somebody who has not read Shastra, so how will you answer
Hmm.
this? That
That's why
the sun and
I
the moon have
gradually I
different
build up now. That's why these two examples. Everyone know these two examples. You can relate to these two
hmm.
examples. So
Yeah, sand. Yeah.
if we want to understand these two examples, the same thing we apply to gold. From gold, we apply to the lokas. So it's like gradual development. So we cannot directly start the last thing first. We should go from step by step, so that they will also okay. It seems logically convincing. They'll accept. If you simply say that, oh, no, it is like this, it is like that. So nowadays we see all the males, no, how can they go to moon? The moon is heavenly abode. No, this is not possible. That is not possible. So many males. Some of the males are coming positively. Some males are coming negatively. So much. So many people are. It's like that. It has become a high topic. Some people are giving bad remarks about ISKCON. This, that. So many things are happening. So that's why, because we don't have proper understanding, we come across all these
That's what I was thinking. Yeah.
messages.
But has Prabhupada mentioned many times that to go to different planets also, we need to change the body, right? So is this moon what we are talking about?
See,
The
yes.
people,
Did Arjuna change his
yeah,
body to go to heaven?
no, he didn't.
Why?
He was I mean, he was blessed by the Lord, I believe.
No. Why you are going all the way up to Lord? For him to go to heaven, Lord Shiva blessed and Indra only invited him personally.
Yeah, yeah.
So don't go to all the way up to for everything. Don't connect to Krishna only. Even the
Which
devatas
means,
can. Same way, if somebody receives the blessings of moon god, they can easily go to moon and they can interact with the moon and other people in the living in the moon planet and then come back. Which is no issue. That
okay,
doesn't
you are
mean that
saying
others
from
cannot
that,
go to moon. Even Ravana also went to heaven.
yes.
See, it is not that one cannot go. So based on one's
Mhm.
understanding, based on the one's endeavor, based on one's understanding, one's endeavor, they will uh,
Mhm.
they will experience that kind of reciprocation.
Okay.
So simple. If we treat moon to be one another earth globe, so we'll get the experience of moon to be like that only. So land rovers are landing on the moon and they're taking some pictures and they are saying finding out there is mud, stone, water bodies, this that. So we are treating it as our understanding is all treating the moon to be like another earth. So we get that kind of experience only.
Mm-hmm.
Simple. ये एतामां प्रपद्यन्ते तां सैव भजाम्यहम्. If we treat moon to be the moon, Chandra Loka, Pitru Loka, the moon god is there, and accordingly we want to interact with him. The moon, when he becomes very much pleased, we don't have to worry about the rockets. He himself will take us the self same body. He will show us the entire. He will give the moon tour, and he will send us back.
Mm.
Uh,
So you
so,
are saying that again, it all depends on how blessed you are and how have you approached the planet, and depending on
mm,
that,
mm.
it'll be
With
the way.
what understanding?
Mm-hmm.
Accordingly, they reciprocate. Can't they? They are also heavenly beings, na? They are powerful beings. They can easily reciprocate accordingly. Why not?
Of course, of course. And just one more thing, when you mention about this Nala and Damayanti story, you said that the Devatas and the actual Nal, they were all standing, and
Mm.
Damayanti had to identify. But aren't we? I mean, didn't we hear before that the Devatas actually don't touch the floor? I mean, they stay a little above the ground.
It is always. It is not only that time. It is always like that.
Okay,
They never
okay.
touch the
So
ground.
that, yeah, so that could have also been a very significant point to identify the normal human being. I was just thinking.
Ah. Even if some devata comes around us, we have to look at them. Whether their eyes are blinking, their body is sweating, their feet is touching the ground or not, their body is casting shadow or not. These are some of the preeminent characteristics. So we
Hmm.
can identify whether somebody is devata or human being.
Okay.
We
Okay,
discussed
Ruj.
this
Thank you
point
so much.
even in Prithu Maharaj pastime.
Yes, exactly. I
We
remember Pruthumara just past time only, and then I
Lord
thought,
Vishnu,
how
whenever he
come?
appears, the Garuda will be in the air only flying. Lord Vishnu will be sitting on the Garuda and he would bless, like he blessed Kardamamuni and many other devotees. So
Yes,
this time,
yes.
Lord Vishnu came down. He actually stood on the ground. He was
Yeah,
standing
he
on the
lost the
ground.
balance.
He lost the balance. He can't even stand because that is not their
Yeah.
usual activity. So then he immediately took the
Yes.
support of Garuda.
Mm-hmm.
So it is like that.
Yes, yes.
So this is the general principle.
Okay.
Hmm.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji,
Uh,
in this what you were explaining to Mataji, na, so how we understand the phenomena, like what we see around the moon landing. So
hmm.
means from whatever understanding we have, does that mean that those scientists which landed actually are really blessed, and that is why moon god allowed them to land there? Or how otherwise in self same body we cannot go to the heavenly planets we are seeing, or it is something
See,
like
you are again, why are you going to different things? See, The way we understand about the moon, in that way moon will reciprocate. Either are you are going by your own endeavor, or they are taking you to that respective place. In either way. But our experience of the moon is based on our understanding of the moon and our hard work and our endeavor, our sadhana and all. So accordingly, the moon will reciprocate. So scientific understanding of the moon is all about another planet which they want to explore, and they want to send people to live and kind of thing. And the moon is reciprocating accordingly. So in that way, that's how we have to see. But if
Okay,
somebody treats the moon to be heavenly abode, so if they want to interact with the moon in that way, then we need to practice a different sadhana to experience the moon in that way. So like that.
okay, so it means the gross people who try to reach with their endeavor, they only see the gross aspect of the moon there and not
Yes, yes.
anything else. They're not the
Mm,
beings which are staying there or the actual pleasant aspect of the moon. They
mm,
just perceive the gross aspect because they
mm.
go in that consciousness there. But
Yes,
those who devotees, when if somebody performs that kind of a sadhana, when we'll reach, he can see the other aspects also.
yes, 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 definitely.
Okay, okay,
Why
thank you.
not? Okay. If the other devotees do not have any questions, we'll move on. So now here also again the Madhva scholars, the translator of this book, is actually cross questioning the modern science, the understanding of modern science. Now, see here the same thing. I have taken the moon also. Here something more. We are from moon. We are going to the stars also. So the understanding of stars from Vedic perspective is different. From modern perspective is different. Same, just like the understanding of the moon from Vedic perspective is different from the modern perspective is different. So, so now the question is, so we are not able to see all these things, but we are able to see stars, planets here and there. So they are very, 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 very far. The normal claim is that the stars are at a distance of light years, thousands of billions of years, billions of miles far distant. Still, we are able to see them. Why your Mount Meru or Himalayas, which is next door, can't see? Same question again they'll ask. So now, what is your understanding of stars? What is your understanding of the planets? What is your understanding of like that? There is a cross questioning now. So we speak of suns and solar systems within the millions of galaxies. The modern science talks about there are so many galaxies and every galaxy might have a solar system. Like that, the scientific explorations indicate now and then. So now the question is, okay, you are telling so many things. There could be solar systems in every galaxy, but have you find at least one more solar system within our own galaxy or some other galaxy? Is there any uh, complete proof that yes, there is a solar system in another galaxy or in our galaxy? Is there any evidence? Next, we also speak of galaxies of different types. There is a mention about so many galaxies with different names. This galaxy like this is like this, drum like this, like that, like etc. etc. Now they say that they ask the question: are there any galaxies seen in the southern celestial hemisphere except the two Magellanic clouds? So the science is looking into outer space and talking about this cluster is one galaxy, this is one galaxy, this is one galaxy, like that. Are there any galaxies on southern side? Science says yes, there are two galaxies. They are known as two Magellanic clouds. They are like two cloud-like structure. They are named as Magellanic clouds. So if not, what is beyond there to the south? They why only two? Now the Vedic person asking question. You say only two Magellanic clouds. Why only two? Why not? There can be millions of galaxies. Just like in the north side there are millions of galaxies. There should be millions of galaxies to the south also. Why only two clouds? So if there are no galaxies, then what is there in the south? So we have seen south. There is Jambu Deepa, there is Bhumandala, there are so many oceans. So then how can there be stars? There cannot be stars so much. There may be little bit here and there, but not so much as they are in the north side or in the east west sides. So now the next question. We stars bol rahe. What are the stars? For the information of the scientists, it may be said. The scientists, what they are calling as galaxy, Milky Way, nebula, all these things, etc., etc. It is nothing but the cluster of millions of divine vehicles, which we call them as stars. What the modern science calls them as galaxy, Milky Way, nebula, and all, it is nothing but the cluster of millions of divine vehicles or divine abodes. The devatas who are residing in the Bhuvarloka and Swargaloka, each and every person will have one airplane or one chariot as their abode. Later on, we study about their dimensions also. So we call them as stars from here, but every star would vary from half yojana to 100 yojana. Their diameters, their widths vary from half yojana means 6.5 kilometers. One yojana 13 kilometers, 13 kilometers, and half yojana 6.5 kilometers to 100 yojanas. 100 yojana means 1300 kilometers from Bombay to Vijayawada. That means, according to the amount of punya a person does when he goes to heaven, he will be given an aeroplane, a Vimana, whose size at least 6 kilometers. And it can extend as wide as Bombay to Vijayawada, the central India total. That means, like roughly we can say that when a person who performs pious activities when he goes to Swarga, if he has performed so much piety, he will be given the central India, the complete central India, like Maharashtra, Telangana, Andhra Pradesh, Karnataka, Tamil Nadu, half of the Karnataka, half of Tamil Nadu, and upper side Madhya Pradesh, this side Gujarat, that side Orissa. This entire area is given to one person, one pious person. That is meant for his enjoyment. He can do whatever he wants. So that is like that. There are millions of divine abodes. When all of them appear to be together, the modern science call them as galaxy. But in reality, they are all stars belonging to devatas. Every devata has one star for his residence. They have their own homes. Because we say that okay, this amount of land belongs to me, this amount belongs to me. We have registration certificates also. So because since we are earthly beings, we are living on the surface of the earth, we are dividing the surface of the earth into different divisions, and we are claiming this division is mine, this home place is mine, this agriculture field land is mine. Like that, we are claiming. The devatas, it is called Nabo Valayasya. Nabo Valayasya means ethereal space. They are living in the ethereal space. In that ethereal space, they will be given one star, and wherever that star is there, that entire star is yours. So like that. That is understanding. So the lesser devatas, yakshas, guhyakas, like that. Gandharvas, Kinnaras, Kimpurushas, yakshas, guhyakas, all these personalities, they reside, even the main devatas also, they actually reside in the stars. That is the understanding of stars from our Vedic literatures. So
Hare
because
Krishna.
they live together, so they appear to be like a galaxy for us. Yes, Mataji.
Prabhuji, Dhruv, they say Dhruv Tara.
Hmm. Ah.
So we've always referred to Dhruvlok as Tara. So that is also
Hmm.
a star then?
Yes. See, our understanding of star could be different. We may say, because we have studied in the school, that star means it is also another sun. Self-illuminating entity. Star is basically self-illuminating entity. It is also like sun. It is also as big as sun, like that we say. But Vedic understanding is that Tara, it is basically a abode of the heavenly being. It is a heavenly abode, heavenly residential abode. That's all.
So it is not Loka as such.
See, what
Let
do you
me
mean
say.
by Loka? Loka also means a abode. The place where people reside is called Loka.
Hmm.
See, in one sense,
Okay.
Here Loka, we say that the 14 abodes are 14 lokas. Bhuloka, Bhuvarloka, Svargaloka. So within the Bhuvarloka, within the Svargaloka, we have unlimited stars. And every star is an abode. Like Bhuloka. We say Earth, entire Earth is like Bhuloka. But you don't have the entire Bhuloka with you. You only have certain land for you. You might be having your home at some place, and you might be having some land in some place, and that much only belongs to you. That is your, that you cannot call it as Loka. We are all living in Bhuloka, but in that Bhuloka we possess some place. Same way, these Devata beings who are living in the heavenly abodes, they are living in the Sargaloka, but they have their own star for their residence. That is their place.
And on that star, the Kshirodaksha Vishnu resides in
Ah,
Kshirosagar.
in the Dhruva Loka, originally it was belonging to Lord Vishnu only, because Dhruva performed austerities wanting to have a place which is superior to that of Brahma. So Lord Vishnu gave his own abode to Dhruva. So it became known as Dhruva Loka afterwards.
Okay.
So he is also staying in that same place.
Thank you. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hmm.
Prabhuji, we discuss about the vehicles of the divine beings, not, and that is the Milky Way or something like that.
Hmm.
So vehicles are like you said from half yojana to like 1300 miles like that we discussed. So if it is half yojana, that means it is much smaller compared to the other whatever dimensions we saw in the universe. So in spite of that, from such a long distance, they are visible. How to understand this?
From what long distance?
Like their vehicles will be at a very far off distance, na probably.
Fine.
So
Okay. Now far off distance. How far?
like their abodes are so high, so the vehicles
That's
also
what
must be
high. How much height? How much height? You are telling so far, so height. So how much height? You tell the number.
like, I don't remember the exact number, but Bhuvar Loka and Swar Loka, what we saw, they are some million yojanas above like that. We discussed.
Who said million yojanas? They are not million yojanas. The total
Then
width of Bhuvarloka is only just 2 lakh yojanas. And Swargaloka is about 3.8 million yojana. That we'll see. The next slide is all about that only. Okay. So, okay. I'll show you this slide, then I'll come back. See. This is the Bhumandala.
yeah,
So, from here to here is Bhuvarloka, from here to here Swargaloka. And from Bhartakanda to the topmost point of Swargaloka is only 3.8 million yojanas.
3 million yojanas is also quite a long distance. Na, Prabhuji, for to see some object which is there, which is half a yojana in that.
See, again the same question. What you are seeing? You are seeing the object or you are seeing the light coming from the object?
Yeah, light coming.
So light तो देख सकते हैं ना, कितना दूर भी रहेगा तो भी देख सकते हैं.
Yeah, right.
Then what is the problem? Are you seeing their bungalows?
No, no, no. Not even the shape we can perceive now. Only the some.
Only light. Light तो किधर से भी दिखेगा.
Okay. Okay. Yes.
So now there is a story from Mahabharata. So the same thing. When Arjuna, after blessed by Lord Shiva, after attaining that Pashupatasura, Lord Shiva blesses him to go to heaven and acquire all the heavenly weapons. So then immediately Lord Shiva disappears. Then immediately the 4 devatas appear: Indra, Varuna, Yama, and Soma. These 4 devatas request our Arjuna to come to heaven so that he can acquire all the heavenly weapons. Then they also disappear. Then Indra sends his chariot driven by Matali. So Arjuna sat on that chariot and Matali is driving Arjuna towards Amravati, the abode of Indra. Amravati is there just below Dhruvaloka. So he right now is in the greater Himalayas. From there he has to go to Amravati. So Matali is driving the chariot in the ether. It is flying in the ether only. So now on the way, Arjuna saw something interesting. Arjuna, the intelligent descendant of Kuru, with a delighted heart, coursed through the Velkin. Velkin means the heavenly pathway. In that car of the wonderful deeds, in that car means in the chariot of Indra, resembling the sun in its form. The chariot of Indra itself is resembling like sun, matlab it is brightly shining. Even if Indra is traveling in the ether in his own chariot, we can see him as a star. So it is like that. So 1 second. So it is like that. So like that, every heavenly person's abode, whether it could be aeroplane or chariot, they are also brightly shining as bright as sun. And coming within the view of pious mortals. And then, as Arjuna going towards Amaravati on the way, he came in close proximity of so many such brightly shining chariots or vimanas. Arjuna espoused thousands of chariots of wondrous make. He saw thousands of chariots like Indra's chariot. There did not shine the sun, the moon, or fire. The understanding is that these chariots are not reflecting sunlight or moonlight. Instead, they are self luminous. All the chariots are the airplanes which Arjuna coming in close proximity are self luminous, like sun. Then he says, it's a Mahabharata says, but it blazes, it means the chariot, the blazes in its own light, begotten of virtue and ascetic merit of the person who is living in that chariot. And those brilliant regions that are seen from the earth in the form of stars, and these chariots which Arjuna is seeing very close by, brightly shining, Arjuna saw them before also from earth in the form of stars. Tara Rupani Yani Iha Drishyate Dyutimati. Why Arjuna already used to see them from the earth in the form of Tarakas, stars. But now he is seeing them as brightly shining chariots or aeroplanes because he has come close proximity. Like lamps too small on account of the distance, though very large, were seen in their own spheres. When Arjuna came in close proximity, he is seeing big, big islands. One chariot is as big as the central part of India. Complete as we, some of them may be that big, some of them may be the size of the entire Maharashtra, and some of them may be the size of entire Bombay or South Mumbai. It's like that. 600 kilometers, good amount of distance. So that big, some of them are. Some of them are 100 kilometers, some of them are 1000 kilometers, some of them are 1300 kilometers, like that. Sizes are increasing. So previously Arjuna saw them as small twinkling stars because they are far distant. Now he has come close proximity, seeing them big. It's natural. And they are full of beauty and brilliance and shining in their native splendor. There he saw royal sages of accomplished piety. Who are there in those chariots? The royal sages who performed tapasya, the heroes who had been slain in the battle, those heroes who died in the battle, they ascended to Swarga. Those Brahmanas who performed severe austerities, they ascended to Swarga. They are there in the chariots. And those who had obtained heaven by their devoted penances, hundreds and thousands of Gandharvas shining in effulgence like the sun, and also Guyakas, Rishis, and various Apsaras, beholding these self-effulgent regions, Falguni is taken with wonder. So, Arjuna saw the people from Bharata Varsha who performed severe austerities, who died in the battlefield, who gave a lot of charities and pious activities, they ascended to Swarga, they are seen. And also Arjuna saw Gandharvas, Apsaras, Guhyakas, Rishis, Siddhacharana, Vidyadharas, Kinnaras, Kimpurushas, all such heavenly beings. Then he was wonderstruck. Then he begins to speak to Matali. Accosted Matali. He asked Matali, so what are this? Can you please tell me about all these personalities and all these places, why they are brightly shining, all the chariots and airplanes, etc. Then Matali replied, these are pious persons, O Sanaprata. stationed in their respective spheres, whom you have seen, O Lord, from the earth in the form of stars. So all these are pious living entities from Bharatavarsha who performed so much piety with the intention to come to Swarga. Now they have come to Swarga, they are living in these Tarakas as a result of their piety. So this is the understanding of stars from our Vedic literatures. The stars are the abodes of heavenly beings who are living in the Bhuvarloka and Sargaloka. So now, the same star concept from modern science. The modern science have found the stellar distances. The modern science says that the closest star to our solar system is Alpha star. It is located at a distance of 4.22 light years. Okay. So what do you mean by light year? Light year means the distance the sunlight covers in a year is called light year. For the sunlight to come from sun to earth, it would take 88 minutes, approximately 8 minutes. If we allow the sunlight to pass continuously, whatever distance it will cover in one full year, 365 days, that distance is called 1 light year. That is 9.5 into 10 to the power of 12 kilometers. This is the total distance is called 1 light year. 9.5 into 10 to the power of 12 kilometers, which is about 728 billion yojanas. So now, the closest star to our solar system is Alpha star, which is at a distance of 4.22 light years. So 4.22 light years into 728 billion yojanas, it becomes 3.072 trillion yojanas. So this is the closest distance. Sorry, this is the distance to the closest star within our uh, galaxy or whatever we can say. Now, the science say that pole star, it is situated at a distance of 433 light years. This is 4.2 to 433, means 100 times more. So it becomes 300 trillion yojanas. So this is modern understanding. So these are the distances of the stars. But our by the Bhagavatam Vedic understanding is the stars are all located within Bhuvarloka and Swargaloka. So then what are the dimensions of Bhuvarloka and Swargaloka? Our universe's inner diameter is 250 million yojanas, inner radius. And the Lokaloka mountain begins at a distance of 41.1 million yojanas. So Bhagavatam said previously that everything that we see in the night time, it is all located within this Lokaloka mountain range. So Lokaloka mountain begins at 41, its peak is at 82, its outer edge is at 123. So now you see, here to here is 41, here to here is 82, here to outside outermost point it is 123, and from here to here 3.8. In one sense, from point to point, from earth to pole star, it is only 3.8 million yojanas. But this side is too long, but this side is not so much. But according to our Vedic calculations, pole star is a distance of 3.8 million yojanas. But according to modern science, pole star is at a distance of 307 trillion yojanas. So when Bhagavatam says that, we can only see the things within this Lokaloka mountain, in this range only. So at max, even though central point would be 82, we can say that 100, even 120 we will take. The outer edge of Lokaloka mountain is 123, we can take till 120. So what we can see must be well within 120 million yojanas. Nothing can be beyond 120 million yojanas. And the universe's radius itself will begin from Earth globe is about 250 million yojanas. Then where do we keep this distance? 3 trillion yojanas or 300 trillion yojanas. Even pole star itself is not the far star. There could be many more stars which are farther than this. So where do we keep them? Are we seeing beyond the universal layers? According to scriptural understanding, we can only see within this local mountain range only. So if the light year concept means, are we seeing beyond the local mountain, beyond the universal shell, and beyond this thing? If we take that trillion yojanas thing, so where does it go? We don't know. So this is how there are some contradictions. So for these things, we may not be able to prove everything with experimental these things, with experimental calculations and all. So sometimes we need to depend upon both pratyaksha as well as shabda. So like that. So these stars, because they are all self-luminous and they are all situated in Borloka and Sargaloka, and we see them in the form of stars. But in reality, they all belong to the Devatas. So now, from modern science understanding, the stars are like the sun, and no one can live there. They are all burning cinders, burning balls. So this is how we see the differences in understanding. Simple. With whatever understanding we approach them, accordingly they will reciprocate with us. So that's how we have to see. There is nothing more than that. So finally, there are concluding remarks from the Madhva scholars. The translator says that accepting the conservatives among the scientific community who have built up prejudicial complexes in themselves, all other great scientists have admitted the limitations of human knowledge and have declared that the mystery about the beginning of this entire creation is ever a mystery for them. Yes, some people are adamant, but many are open minded. They say that yes, we can't understand everything, still there are some mystery. So we need to explore. So Chandrayaan 3 also we can say one such exploration. So they are trying to explore to what extent we can understand the moon with our technical abilities. So like that we can see. So Srila Prabhupada's comments on this particular aspect. So there are mountains on the earth also. There are mountains described in Jambudipa also. So the measurement seems to be very huge, difficult to imagine, difficult to assume, accept. But be satisfied with the statements of authorities like Sukadeva Goswami. Appreciate how Lord's external energy manifests the entire cosmos. Our experimental knowledge can neither verify nor disprove the statements of Srimad Bhagavatam. So now, how can we verify? With the gross equipment, we can only analyze the gross subject matter. We cannot analyze subtle subject matter. So just because with the gross equipment we are not able to analyze the subtle subject matter, we cannot say it does not exist. So like that. So these are some of the comments about this. So any questions?
No,
Hare
Prabhuji.
Krishna. Prabhuji.
Uh,
Yes, Mataji, you go ahead.
No, I said I have no questions. Thank you.
Okay. Prabhuji, there are few questions regarding the last time. One of them, if you permit, I can ask because whether we discussed now last time that Earth is like 23% the solid matter and the rest is water, like that. So
no,
what?
not like that, not like that. On the surface of the earth, about 29% it is land portion, remaining surface is occupied by water.
That's what.
Hmm.
So, how we see that on universe there are coverings, and
Hmm.
the universe is enclosed within the covering. Like
Hmm.
that, for the Earth there are no coverings, no provision.
No, why you are getting that covering concept to earth?
No, then what I'm not able to understand and I'm confused about it. If it is on the surface, only 23% is land and other is water, then
Hmm.
how that water is remaining in the form that we see Earth as a globe like that?
No, it can be there, na? It is attracted to the center of the earth globe. Upon the
Okay.
surface, whatever is there, everything is attracted to the center of the earth. So because of that gravitational pull, everything is there along with the earth globe.
Or on the surface, whatever water is there, that is solidified water, that is why it all
No,
remains.
not solidified. It is liquid only, na? Bombay ocean, these are liquid only. It is not solidified water.
So then water is
Just like
thrown
we
up.
experience wherever we are, we experience ourselves as we are standing in the topmost portion of the earth globe.
No, that I understood, but
Like
like
that, water also there in the topmost portion of the earth globe only. everywhere.
If the water is there, water will keep flowing. Now, how it will remain contained, like to make Earth as a globe like that? I am not understanding.
So that is the problem, na? You are again same concept. See, don't see in the globe. So overall it is globe, but in a particular area, it is almost nearly flat only, na? Does the Bombay, our Arabian Ocean water goes, Arabian Sea water goes anywhere here and there? It will remain there only. So it does not go.
Like suppose Prabhuji, if we have if we have a 200 ml water
Hmm.
and we want to hold it, so we require a glass or whatever, something, some container in which we can pour and say yes, this is 200 ml water. Like that on Earth, if there is so much like 77%, it comes to that much water, what it is contained in, like that.
So it will be there always. It is recycling again. The same water goes to the sky, becomes clouds again. The rainy season again they come back. It is going up and down, up and down. So it will be moving there only.
Okay, I'm not. Maybe I'm not able to explain my question properly.
See, your question is that why water is there in the globular surface of the earth? That is the question.
Means in spite of being a liquidy thing, how it gives boundary to the Earth to make it a globe. That is
See, that's what you are in doctor. You are not engineer. There is something called circular geometry. Just
okay.
like in a plane area, if you keep something in the middle of the plane, it will remain there only. Yes or no?
Yes.
If the plane is tilted, then the water goes downward.
Yeah.
Same way in the circular geometry and a circular plane, and whatever is there at that one place, it will remain there only. It cannot go here and there.
Oh.
But in that area, if there is some high and low, the water goes that side. So from linear geometry to circular geometry, from the circular geometry, the spherical surface, it becomes like a normal plane. So on the plane, if you keep something there, it will not go here and there. So like that.
Okay.
So this is called circular geometry. So water does not
Oh.
go. Like for example, Arabian Ocean water does not go to Atlantic. It cannot go to other side of that side of the Africa and the other side of Africa also. This water will remain here only because
Okay.
this entire area becomes like a flat for that water.
Okay. So the boundaries of that Earth, according to circular geometry, will be defined, and that is why it will form a globe like that. Okay.
Yeah. Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
And it will be maintained also by the gravitational force, na, which is the Lord's energy.
Because everywhere it is attracted toward the center of the earth. So it see the more toward the center of the earth than to the other side. When you a glass of water, when you throw from the top, it will come down. It will not go to the right hand side, left hand side.
Right.
So it is like that.
Yes. Thank you.
Okay. Other devotees have any questions? So if there are no questions, we'll have to.
I have one small question. We see some meteorites moving sometimes. Has that anything to do with this?
Because there are so many chariots in the sky, there are so many things are there in the sky. They might be playing with each other, they might be fighting with each other. So there are also some kind of things belonging to heavenly abodes. So we can accept them as also part of the heaven, Borloka, Sargaloka, some of them. The meteors and also ulkas, etc. etc.
Thank you.
Mm.
Hare.
Because heaven is also a big abode. So they also have some things good or bad. Sometimes they are good, sometimes they are bad. So in that way.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
It's Matish.
Prabhuji, will you be ever like covering the nakshatra aspects of the stars? Because these nakshatras, as per the astrology, have very significant influence on our births and our horoscope.
See,
So
we'll
what
only
are these
discuss what is nakshatra. We'll not discuss about the effect of nakshatras upon us. That will be like a different
effects?
astrological thing. You can approach some astrologer, he will tell. So later on, we'll talk
No, no,
about
I'm not talking
nakshatras. Mm.
about. Okay, great. That's what I wanted to know because nakshatras
In
are stars only.
23rd chapter, yeah, actually, nakshatras are not just stars. Nakshatra means
Okay.
a group of stars.
Okay.
See, for example, we were talking about when a person who is a pious person, when he goes to heaven, he will be given one star.
Hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
If a person is given 10 stars, so for
Oh.
example, so you might be having one four-wheeler, but some people might have
Hmm.
10, three, four four-wheelers.
Yes, true.
So he will keep all the three, four within his parking yard only.
Hmm. Hmm. Hmm.
So like that, three, four stars coming together, they form one nakshatra.
Okay.
So that will appear to be like a bear, balu.
Yes. Yes.
That's why in Sanskrit they are called rukshas. Ruksha. Jambavan is called Ruksha Raja, the king of rukshas, king of bears.
Hmm.
So these
Hmm.
3, 4, 5, 6 nakshatras which are in a group, when you map them, they
Yeah.
appear to be like small bears. So there are
Oh.
some
Okay.
groups which have many more stars. So some stars have 20, 30. And
Hmm. Hmm.
such big groups, some of them appear to be like a lion. So we call that group as Simha Rashi.
Simha. Huh.
Some group appears to be like a scorpion. We call it as Vrishchika Rashi.
Hmm. Hmm.
And some group appears to be like a bride. We call it as Kanna Rashi.
Yeah.
So there are two set of groups. One is small groups, one is big groups. There are 12 such big
Hmm.
groups, 12 Rashis, and 27 small
Yeah.
groups, 27 nakshatras. And the remaining all are one star separately. So people in general,
Oh.
Aam Aadmi, they will have only one vehicle, two-wheeler, four-wheeler.
Hmm.
उतना ही काफी है उनके लिए. But some people will have
Hmm.
more vehicles, and some people will have many more vehicles. It's like that.
Hmm.
Or
Hmm.
more homes, or many more homes, or one home and many homes, like that. Either vehicle or home, either way you can take.
Yeah. Yeah.
So like that.
Yeah, thank you, Roger. Because this is a good understanding that the 12 Rashis, that means a cluster of more stars, and
Hmm.
the nakshatras are cluster of little lesser stars,
Middle,
right?
few stars, we can say middle number,
Hmm.
and they all belong to
Okay.
one person only. And based on that person
Yeah.
name, they are called like the nakshatras, Ashwini, Bharani, Kritika, etc. They are all belonging to the 27 daughters of Daksha Prajapati. Daksha Prajapati,
Oh,
after marrying them to
huh.
moon god, he had given one
Yeah.
person, one daughter, one
Yeah.
nakshatra. So they are
Oh.
very rich people.
Oh. Okay. Okay.
They have multiple buildings at one place, multiple bungalows, we can say.
Okay.
Mm.
Okay, Roger. Thank you.
So
Thank you so
like that.
much.
Okay, we'll just quickly take a couple of minutes break and then we'll continue. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, devotees are there.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So we'll continue. More slides are there. So now, see, so till now, have taken some references from Bhugola Varnanam and then kind of explaining with mild understanding, providing some references from Mahabharata and some practical examples. So now the second thing from Bhagavatam only. So we till now we have talked about the places, the different places, different divisions and subdivisions within Bhumandala and Bhuvarloka, Sargaloka, etc., etc., etc. So now let us look back into history. What happened in the past? So now we are talking about no, we are not able to see. What do you mean? We are not able to see means everyone should not be able to see. Everyone should not be able to see. So is that understanding valid? We are not able to see. That means no one is able to see. Is it like that? Or anybody was able to see in the past? Now let us try to examine. So one implied meaning is that we hear so many pastimes. Very soon Janmashtami is coming. We talk about Janmashtami and Lord Krishna's pastimes here, there, etc. So many such pastimes we hear, we accept them. They all happened in the past. At least being devotees, we all accept Krishna Lila, Ram Lila, and other Avatara Lila, and all they all happened. If a Leela happened, the Leela must have taken place at a particular place. If Leela is true, the place is also true. So now let us look into some people, some Leelas, which we, being followers of Bhakti, we accept them true. Then the places connected to those Leelas also must be true. So now let us see what are those places, in which places these Leelas took place. So in that way, we can see which people have access to these different places to which we don't have access. So that is the overall theme in that section. So here you have the picture of the entire Jambudipa. So Bhagavatam, first canto, 16 chapter, text number 13. It talks about Parikshit Maharaj. Bhadrashvam Ketumalam cha Bharatam Chotara Kurun. Tempurushadini Varshani Vijitya Jagrihe Balim. So after Parikshit Maharaj became king in the 15th chapter, Yudhishthira Maharaj enthrones Parikshit Maharaj and they go to north. They go to Himalayas. From there, they go to spiritual world. That is what is read in the 15th chapter. In the beginning of the 16th chapter, Parikshit Maharaj became king. And after he became king, he traveled on a world conquest. So where all he went? Bhadrashva. He went to Bhadrashva Varsha, Ketumala, Bharata, and Uttara Kurtu. And also other Varshas. He traveled all the 9 Varshas and he is victorious in all the Varshas. That is being mentioned there. Another, which I mentioned in the book, this Bhagavata Vichar, the first chapter, appearance of Bhagavatam, when Uddhava was speaking Bhagavatam to the queens of Lord Krishna, Parikshit Maharaj said, I also want to hear. But Uddhava told him, no, Kali already entered and is disturbing all over the world. You being the monarch, please go and protect the people from the onslaughts of Kali. So then, Parikshit Maharaj in search of Kali traveled to all these places. In search of Kali, Parikshit Maharaj went to Bhadrashu Varsha, Ketumala Varsha, no, Bhadrashu Varsha, Uttarakur Varsha, Ketumala Varsha, again came to Bharata Varsha. Eventually, finally, at Kurukshetra, he found Kali. So, in that context, this verse is mentioned. So, Parikshit Maharaj is the monarch of the entire Jambudipa. He could travel to all these places. First one. Second one, few chapters before, 12th chapter. Sampada Krutavo Loka, Mahishi Brataro Mahi, Jambu Dvipadipatyam cha, Yashasyatri Divangvatam. Yudhishthir Maharaj is the ruler of the entire Jambudipa. He was not simply ruling over Hastinapur, a small town on the bank of Ganga. Not like that. He is the ruler of, the monarch of the entire Jambudipa. But his capital is situated in Hastinapur. So like that. If we read entire Mahabharata, many of the pastimes, such as birth of the Pandavas, their performance of Rajasuya sacrifice, their Vanavas, Swargarohana Parva, etc., most of them are very closely connected with the greater Himalayas. and some of them are also connected to these other places. So now briefly let us see. So Pandu, after becoming the king, after marrying Kunti and Madri, when Pandu went into some excursion, the picnic with his two wives, so hearing some sound, thinking that it is a wild animal, he threw an arrow. As a result of that arrow, one Brahmana in the form of a deer trying to unite with his wife, and he was pierced. And while dying, he cursed Pandu that if you happen to come close to your wife, you will also die the way I am dying. So like that. Then Pandu, hearing that curse, he sent a message to Dhritarashtra saying that, my dear brother, I am not coming back to Hastinapur. I have been cursed to die. So you please take care of the kingdom. He requested his both the wives to go to Hastinapur, but they said, no, no, we want to stay with you. Then Pandu, from Hastinapur nearby forest, he actually goes to the upper Himalayas at a place known as Shatashrunga Parvata. In the greater Himalayas, a small section is known as Shatashrunga Parvata. It's one mountain which has got 100 peaks. That is where he made his residence, and he began to lead a life of Vanaprastha order. He already practicing Vanaprastha lifestyle. So at one point of time, all the sages who were also living in the same area, they were all going to the top of Mount Meru. Because on top of Mount Meru, Brahma is conducting a universal management for which he invited all the devatas and all the great sages. So all the sages are going to take part in it. So Pandu Maharaj also had a desire to go along with them to that Meru. So the sages said, no, no, you cannot come. It is very hardships. Even though you may come, but your wives cannot walk. The Pandu said, no, don't worry. Please take us. We will follow you. You don't worry about our troubles. But the sage told that, no, no, you cannot come because you are not fulfilled your duty to your forefathers. You are not begotten children. So Pandu felt very bad. He was feeling very sorry. Then Kunti Maharani told about her boon received from Durvasa. As a result of that, she begot five children, Kunti and Madri combinedly. So they are also born in the upper Himalayas. Their upbringing for 14 years, it is done in upper Himalayas. On the 14th birthday of Arjuna, which happens to be on Falguna Purnima, after celebrating Arjuna's birthday in the morning, Pandu and Madri goes to fetch some flowers. Because it is Vasanta Rutu, the spring season, so both became attracted to each other. As a result of that, Pandu died, Madri entered into Sati, and Kunti Maharani brought to Hastinapur along with their five sons. They grew up. So many things happened. We'll not get into all the stories. Eventually, the Pandavas given Kanda Prastha after their marriage to Draupadi. So they developed Kanda Prastha into Indraprastha, and then they wanted to perform Rajasuya sacrifice, during which the four Pandavas went in four directions. So Bhima went in the eastern direction, Arjuna went in northern direction, Sahadeva went in southern direction, Nakula went in the western direction. So when Arjuna went in the northern direction, he came to Himalayas, then he came to Kuruvarsha, he came to Harivarsha. So before going all these places, in the Himalayas location, he fought with Bhagadatta. Bhagadatta was the son of Narakasura. There is a huge fight between Arjuna and Bhagadatta. Afterwards, he goes to Himalaya. Then when he goes to Harivarsha, the people from all these Varshas, they come to meet Arjuna here. They ask Arjuna, why? What is the reason you are coming all the way here with huge army? And Arjuna says, my brother want to perform Raju sacrifice. I want your acceptance. They said, oh, very much. Very nice. We are very much happy to see that Yudhishthira Maharaj performing Raju sacrifice. Please take all these token of all these gifts from our side. We'll take part in the sacrifice. But before that, you take all these gifts. So they gave so much wealth, so much jewelry. Arjuna brought so much, and he got the name Dhananjaya. It is said that when all the wealth is accumulated at one place, it is put one above the other, it has become like a rashi, like a cone conical structure. The base of the conical structure spread to a distance of 40 yojanas. 40 yojanas means around 520 kilometers. The base of the rashi. So it is that much wealth he got. He got Dhananjaya name. So Arjuna went all the way up to Harivarsha. Other people came and told him, no, no, to go all the other way. We all accept to your brother, monarch, fine. So like that. This is fighting with Bhagadatta. Rajusi sacrifice. And after Rajusi sacrifice, they went to Vanavas because they were cheated by Duryodhana and all. So in the Vanavas, one day Vyasadev comes and tells Yudhishthira Maharaj, your brother has to go and fetch Pashpatasara and other divine weapons. Please send him to Himalayas. So Arjuna goes to Himalayas and performs severe tapasya to please Lord Shiva. So he pleased Lord Shiva, he got Pashpatasara. Then he went to heaven, he got all the divine weapons. He also learned dancing. So all those things happened in the greater Himalayas. So Arjuna performed astrology to please Lord Shiva in the greater Himalayas because Lord Shiva stays in the greater Himalayas only. So Lord Shiva stays here. There is a mountain known as Kailash here. This is where Lord Shiva stays. Arjuna performed austerities at the base of that mountain. So he went there happily. And from there he went to heaven. And later on other Pandavas also came searching after Arjuna. So because Arjuna went to Sarga, long he stayed there for 5 days. But that is 5 years here. So unable to tolerate the separation from Arjuna, Pandavas all went to upper Himalayas. So they could not go on their own. Arjuna went there by chanting mantra given by Vyasa. But other Pandavas to go to upper Himalayas, Bhima called Gatochkat, his son. And Gatochkat called some of his friends. And Gatochkat carried Draupadi on his back. And Gatochkat's friends carried other Pandavas and some Brahmanas on their back. So they all went to upper Himalayas. So upper Himalayas, they could not go on their own. They need some help. Arjuna went because of his chariot. Parikshit Maharaj also went because of his chariot. But the other Pandavas went with the help of Gatochkat and other Rakshasas. So it is like that. It is accessible, but they cannot go by walking on their own also. They need somebody's help to go there. So on that upper Himalayas, while they were staying there at one day, Draupadi found a beautiful lotus flower. She requested Bhima to get it. So Bhima went up. So while he was going up searching for that lotus, he happened to meet a monkey, old monkey. And he asked monkey to give it away. Monkey said, I am bored, you move me aside. Hanuman, Bhima was not able to move because it was Hanumanji. So Hanumanji revealed his original form on the request of Bhima. And Bhima told, so I came here for a flower, please help me where I can get it, etc. Then he also asked, please help us in the battle, stand on the, please be station, please place yourself on the chariot of Arjuna. And whenever I shout, join my shout so that the enemy soldiers, the other people, enemy party will become terrified. So Hanuman says everything's fine. But he says one interesting point. He says that this is the last point which is accessible to the residents of Bharata Varsha, beyond which it belongs to the Vanaras. Because Vanaras are staying in the Kimpurusha Varsha and human beings are staying in the Bharata Varsha. The middle of this Himalaya mountain, this part is accessible to Bharata Varsha people and that part is accessible to Kimpurusha Varsha people. So Bhima met Hanumanji exactly in the peak of the greater Himalayas. So he told, this side you don't have to go. There nearby there is the pond. From there you can get that flowers. So Bhima went and was swimming across in the pond and plucking so many flowers. Then that pond actually belongs to Kuvera. It was protected by Yakshas. The Yakshas came trying to bind Bhima, who was swimming and plucking the flowers. Bhima was fighting with them. Yudhishthir Maharaj, hearing the shouts of these Yakshas, they have all the Yudhishthir Maharaj and all the other Pandava, Draupadi, they all climb the mountain. They come and stop Bhima. They go to Kuvera, they beg forgiveness, and Kuvera says, no problem, no problem, don't worry about that. It has to happen, it happened. So all of you stay in my home for some time. The Pandavas visited Alakapuri, the abode of Kuvera, which is adjacent to this pond. So they stayed there for some time, almost 1 year they stayed there, it said. So it is like that. So they could travel all over. So then Arjuna came, Pandavas won the battle and they ruled. At the end, when they were about to leave, so Yudhishthira Maharaj is going behind, all the other Pandavas are coming, and one dog is also following after them. So eventually, one by one, falling down. Nakula, Sahadeva, Draupadi, Nakula, Sahadeva, Arjuna, Bhima. Only Yudhishthira Maharaj went to heaven, the self same body. So that pastimes are all there in the Mahabharata. They all happened in the upper Himalayas. So then, in connection to this pond, which we have seen, in connection to Kuvera's abode, Alakapuri, there are some references in the fourth canto. So here it is said that after all the devatas and the brahmanas were injured by Veerabhadra and his other army after Mother Sati committed burnt herself. And then Lord Shiva created Veerabhadra, and Veerabhadra mutilated all of them. They all went to Brahma. Brahma took all of them to Kailash. Kailash is also located next to Alakapuri, which is the Kuveras abode where Bhima, this lotus pond. So adjacent to this lotus pond is Alakapuri, adjacent to Alakapuri is Kailash. So Lord Brahma took all the devatas to Kailash. So on the way, at the foot of Mount Kailash, devatas saw Alakapuri city, that is Kuveras abode, and also the Saugandhika forest. Saugandhika forest is nothing but that pond, the lotus pond, and the forest around that. That is called Saugandhika forest. And another reference, 10th, 4th canto, 10th chapter. Going towards north, Dhruva Maharaja saw the city of the Yakshas, that is Alakapuri, where the followers of Lord Shiva reside, in a valley of the Himalayas. Himavat within the Himalaya valleys. So Dhruva went there to find out the Yaksha who killed his brother Uttama. In order to take revenge, there the fight between the Dhruva and Yakshas happened there only, adjacent to this Alakapuri. So then, after Dhruva ruled for 100 celestial years, then after he retired from active rule, he again went to upper Himalayas to perform Vanaprastha duty so that he can go back to Godhead. Considering the whole Bhumandala surrounded by the oceans would all be destroyed by time Maharaj Dhruva went to Badrikashram to perform Vanaprastha duties. So Dhruva also went to 2 times to upper Himalayas. Once to fight with Yakshas, other time to perform Vanaprastha. That is where the aeroplane came and took Dhruva to Loka. So all these things are happening here in this upper Himalayas. So not only these pastimes, so many other pastimes also happened in the upper Himalayas. So if you see in this picture, here we have Mount Meru and all. So another reference, where in order to please his wife Devahuti, Kardamuni created an aerial mansion. In that aerial mansion, both wife and husband, they travel to different places. Especially the entire Ilavrita Varsha, the entire Mount Meru, top to bottom, they traveled. And then at one point of time, Sudyumna, the son of Shraddha Deva. Shraddha Deva is Vaivashat Manu, the current Manu. His son is Sudyumna. Unknowingly, he entered into the Sukumara forest. So the Sukumara forest is in Ilavrita Varsha. So these two mountain ranges, this part, this mountain range is called Sukumara forest area. Sudyumna from here, he traveled all the way up to here, unknowingly entered into this mountain area. He transformed himself into female. He and his friends and the horses, they all transformed into female. Even the horse also transformed into female horse because Lord Shiva put that condition. And then in the upper Himalayas, this one. So this Himalayas. So many other pastimes also happened. What are the other pastimes? It is where Mother Parvati performed severe austerities to please Lord Shiva so that both of them can marry. And it is there only Ganeshji was created by Mother Parvati and Lord Shiva cut off his head and elephant head is joined. There only the Kartikeya was born to Mother Parvati. And there only Ravana wanted to lift Kailash and take it away because it is white, silver-like mountain. So when Ravana was about to lift, Lord Shiva pressed it, as a result of which Ravana cried loudly. Previously his name was Dashagriva. From this point onwards he became Ravana. So because he cried so much that everyone became afraid because hearing these cries. So like that. Even Bhagirath Maharaj, with an intention to bring Ganga down to deliver his four ancestors, performed tapasya in this upper Himalayas. And he performed tapasya to please Lord Shiva so that Lord Shiva can hold Mother Ganga to reduce her speed. That happened there only. So Lord Shiva even today also holds Ganga on his jata in this upper Himalayas. It is in upper Himalaya, there is a place known as Kalapa Gram, somewhere near to Badrikashram. So in that Kalapa Gram currently, Maru and Devapi, both of them are performing severe austerities. In Kali Yuga, monarchy does not act. So Maru from Surya Vamsha, Devapi from Chandra Vamsha. Devapi is the elder brother of Shantanu Maharaj. Shantanu Maharaj who married first Ganga, then later on Satyavati. That Shantanu Maharaj. His elder brother is performing austerities now. After the end of this Kali Yuga, in the upcoming Satya Yuga, when Lord Kalki will appear, Lord Kalki will also appear in this Kalapa Gram only. We may call it as Sambala. Another name of Sambalpur is Kalapa Gram. So Lord Kalki, when he appears, these two people come out of meditation, then they marry and they continue Surya Vamsha, Chandra Vamsha ruling over during Satya, Treta, Dwapara Yugas upcoming. And it is here in Kalapa Gram, Narnara and Rishi are performing severe austerities. It is there Narada Muni approached Narana and Rishi and asked how the Vedas, which generally talk about three modes, can describe the Supreme Lord who is beyond three modes. He asked that question to Narana and Rishi there only. So Narana and Rishi answers the Vedas person, prayers offered by the Vedas person fed there only. So in that way. And Daksha performed his yajna at the base of this greater Himalayas. Even today we say that when we go to Haridwar, adjacent to Haridwar, there is a place known as Kankal. People say that Daksha performed yajna here only. But actually, Kanka is a imitation place. Actually, yajna happened in the greater Himalayas. Its replica place is there in the our Himalayas. Just like Lord Shiva actually and Mother Parvati and all stay in the upper Himalayas. But in our Himalayas also we have Manasarovar, Kailash, etc. In the upper Himalayas, Narana and Rishi are actually performing tapasya in their original form. In our Himalayas, we have Badrinath temple. In the upper Himalayas, actually Vyasadev stays. In our Himalayas, we have Vyasa Gufa. So like that. Even in our Himalayas, if you go, they say that in what is that? Badrinath, Kedarnath, somewhere near to Kedarnath, they say that Bhagirath Maharaj performed tapasya here only. Like that they say. So many things are there. So it's like that. So whatever is there in the upper Himalayas, its replica is there in our lower Himalayas also. So recently, Madhvacharya also went to upper Himalayas. When he wrote Bhagavad Gita commentary, he went to our Himalayas to Badrinath and recited his entire Gita commentary in front of Badrinath. When he goes to sleep in the night time, there is an unembodied voice saying that, please come to me, I want to talk to you. So next day morning, Vyasdev went, not Vyasdev, but Madhvacharya went to meet Vyasdev. He went to the top of upper Himalayas at a height of 10,000 yojanas. So he went there, he met, and Vyasdev instructed him to write commentary on Vena Sutra. So he came down and wrote commentary on Vena Sutra, naming it as Vyasa Sutra, Vyasa Bhashya. He distributed, and then again he went back to report. Then he told, Vyasdev told him, go and write commentary on Mahabharata. He came down, wrote commentary on Mahabharata. Like that, two times Madhvacharya went to upper Himalayas. So that is all about Jambudvipa. Within the Jambudvipa region, these are some of the notable pastimes. All these pastimes have direct connection to different places. Principally the greater Himalayas, but other places also. Then the entire Bhumandala, from Ramayana, Kishkinda Kanda. Sugriva sends 4 monkey armies into 4 directions, telling them you go east, you go west, you go north, you go south, and find out the whereabouts of Mother Sita. So when he tells to the group of monkeys to the eastern side, which they're supposed to go, he says that if you go to eastern side, you go first towards north, go to Meru. There you take right side, right turn, and start going like that. If you go like that, you will pass through 7 dvipas and 7 oceans. After passing through 7 oceans, you come to fiery land. That is Varnabhumi. The entire land looks like fire. After passing that, you come to Jatrupashila, a land of stones which appear to be like Jata. It is basically diamond land. After crossing that Jatrupashila land, you come to a place where you get to see Shesha, who is holding the entire Bhumandala. As soon as you see Shesha, come back. So basically, after coming all the way here, that is the last point of the Bhumandala, you go further, you look downward. You see Shesha holding the Bhumandala. Then come back. That's what Sugriva says. For those people who are supposed to go towards north, he says that you go on north side, you see Meru. Cross that further, you go to Uttarakuru Varsha. There you see 3 towns made up of gold, silver, and bronze. As soon as you see 3 Gopurams, come back. If you go to west, for going west, you go to Mount Meru and take left and go to Ketumala Varsha. When you see the ocean, come back. If you are going to north for the northern group, after crossing Bharata Varsha, you will come Indian Ocean, and basically you will come to saltwater ocean. In that saltwater ocean, there are so many islands. In that one island is Lanka. Mostly you will get to see Sita in Lanka only. If you don't see, go further southward, downward. You get to see Atala, Vitala, Sutala, Talatala, Mahatala, Rasatala, Patala. If you go further after Patala, you will go to Hell. But hell is not meant for Vanaras, that is only meant for Bharatavarsh residents. And after going, as soon as you see hell, come back. There is nothing further. Like that, Sugriva tells to Hanumanji in that direction. Who is going? Like that, all the 4 monkey groups, it tells. So these monkeys, they went in all these 4 directions and came back. They had access, they can travel. So finally, quick references. These are the different kings who ruled over the entire Bhumandala. The monarch of the Yudhishthira Maharaj ruled over only Jambudipa. But these people ruled over the entire Bhumandala. Who are all they? Swayambhu Manu, Anga, Vena, Prutu. All these people ruled over the entire Bhumandala. Then King Maruta is known as Chakravarti. Ambarish Maharaj, Sapta Dvipavatim Mahim. He is the lord of the entire Bhumandala consisting of 7 Dvipas. King Mandata, Sapta Dvipavatim Ekam. King Sagara, Chakravarti, he is also ruling over the entire Bhumandala. And King Puru, he is the lord of the Bhumandala. King Bharata, son of Dushmanta and Shakuntala, he is the lord of the entire Bhumandala. Chakravarti, Kartavir Arjuna, he is also the lord of Saptadipeshwaro. So all these personalities, even Lord Rama was also there, Bhuvaneshwara, they were all ruling over the entire Bhumandala. They could go left and right of the entire Bhumandala. They had no issue. And finally, so for Hanumanji, Sugriva told, if you go downward, you will get to see all these 7 lower planetary systems. The sons of Sagara Maharaj actually searched first for the horse which was stolen by Indra. They searched all over Jambudipa. They could not find. So father told them, okay, dig around. The horse might be in the underground, dig around Jambudipa. They dug around Jambudipa. They threw the mud into ocean. The mud became island, but they could not find. Then Sagara Maharaj told them that dig downward below Bhumandala, 1 yojana each. Because Sagara Maharaj had 60,000 sons, each one dug for 1,000 yojana, sir, 1 yojana. So it became 60,000 yojanas. Still they could not find. They became frustrated. They went back to father. So father told, again dig further. Till the time you get the horse, don't stop. So this time instead of going downward, they went in different directions. They made 8 groups. They went in directions, 8 directions. They happened to meet these 8 elephants, Ashtadigajas, who are holding the entire Bhumandala. And they told Ashtadigajas, have you happened to see one white person stole a white horse? And they told in an enigmatic way. All these 8 groups, they came back and they discussed among themselves. They understood that they need to go downward, but little Ishanya direction. Then they went down. They came to Patala. It is in Patala they found the horse in the ashram of Lord Kapila. And all the other pastime we already spoke and all of you know. So that all happened in this particular place. Because they thought that Lord Kapila only stole the horse. They wanted to kill Lord Kapila. The fire element from their own body increased and burnt them. They all became into ashes. Then later on, Sagara Maharaj sent his grandson, Amshuman, to search after his uncles and also the horse. So he came all the way up to Patala. He begged forgiveness from Lord Kapila. With the permission of Lord Kapila, he took the horse, but he requested Lord Kapila to forgive and deliver his uncles. Lord Kapila told, no, no, you get Ganga. If Ganga comes, they will be delivered. So Ganga came passing up from the upper Himalayas. That is where Bhagirath Maharaj performed tapasya. From upper Himalayas, passing through entire Bharatavarsha, coming to Bharatkhanda, then meeting the Indian Ocean, Bay of Bengal, and then entering into saltwater ocean surrounding Jambudipa. It came down all the way, following this tunnel to Patala Loka, and delivered all those ancestors because of this entire tunnel. And there are so many other things also happened in this tunnel. What all? Bhima was given poison when the Pandavas came to Hastinapur. Duryodhana could not tolerate them. So one day Bhima was given poison and thrown into Ganga. Because Ganga coming all the way up to Patala, Bhima also following the path of Ganga came to Patala. It is Patala by the biting of the snakes, his poison got nullified. There Vasuki, who is residing in Patala Loka, gave a nectar to Bhima. So Bhima became powerful. And when 5 Pandavas were married to Draupadi, they made an agreement that each one of us stay with Draupadi for 1 year. So only one person will enter into Draupadi's palace. So one time to protect the cows of the Brahmana, Arjuna went into that palace when Yudhishthira Maharaj with Draupadi. As a result of that, Arjuna is supposed to go for 12 years Vanavas. So in the 12 years, he came to Kanyakumari. So at Kanyakumari, Ulupi dragged Arjuna and took him to Patala Loka. And Ulupi expresses her desire to marry Arjuna. Arjuna married her and begot a son, Iravan, who died in the battle of Kurukshetra also. And in Ramayana also there is a story. It says that at one point of time, Meghanath released a weapon, Sammohanasura. As a result of that, all the monkeys and Rama, Lakshmana, they fell unconscious. So Vibhishan, no, not Vibhishan, you can again. So Indrajit or Meghanath, he arranged in such a way that the Rama and Lakshmana will be taken and hidden somewhere in Rasatala Loka. So in a cave within Rasatala Loka, under the protection of Iravan. So Hanumanji understood all this. Hanumanji came passing through this tunnel, came to Rasatala Loka. He killed Iravan and took Lord Rama and Lakshmana back to Lanka so that they can continue the fight. So that is there. And Ramayana says that when Hanumanji was jumping from Mahendragiri to Lanka, on the way three people came. One was Mainaka mountain, other one is Surasa and Simika. First one was Mainaka mountain. Actually, Mainaka mountain is actually blocking this tunnel. Otherwise, because of this tunnel, these Asuras are all coming up, always easily coming up and troubling the people on the Bhuloka and Burloka and Swargaloka. So Indra requested Mainaka mountain to close this tunnel. So Mainaka is actually closing this tunnel. As he was closing this tunnel, while Hanumanji was jumping across, the ocean guard was telling Mainaka, "Oh my dear Mainaka, because of Indra you have been placed here. Now for Indra's mission, Hanumanji is jumping and going to Lanka. Why don't you come up to the ocean and give some resting place for Bhima to rest, and from there he can jump further." So Mainaka mountain came up, but Hanumanji did not accept. Matlab, he did not want to rest. He wanted to go as early as possible. He briefly touched Mainaka mountain and went ahead. So that Mainaka mountain is actually blocking this tunnel which was dug by the 60,000 sons of Sagar Maharaj, so that the Asuras does not come up always. So it is like that. So these are some of the things. So in summary, what do we understand all these things? So starting from Satyayuga to Kali Yuga, the access has become restricted. During Satyayuga, Treta Yuga and all, people would do access the whole Bhumandala. As time passed, they could not. The reason is Tataschanu Dinam Dharma Satyam Saucham Kshamadaya Kalena Balena Rajan Nakshati Ayur Balam Supti. In due course of time, all these wonderful things will reduce. Dharma reduces, Satyam reduces, Saucham, Kshama, Daya, and Bala, Ayu, Smriti, all these things will reduce. And hence, during Satyayuga and Treta Yuga, the rulers were able to rule over the entire Bhumandala. They could travel left and right, here, there, everywhere. And during this time only, even they could go to heaven also, every now and then. And they could go to heaven, they fight for the Devatas like Katvanga Maharaj and many more Maharajas fought for the Devatas. And Maharaj Yayati became, not Yayati, I think Yayati, yeah? Nahusha became Indra also. So it's like that. So in those times, they could travel anywhere freely. And Dwapara Yuga, the access is restricted up to Jambudipa alone. People like Arjuna and Parishit Maharaj, they could go all the way up to Uttara Gurvarsha. Even Parishit Maharaj is the first king of Kali Yuga, but since he is so powerful, till his time, the rulership is there up to Jambudipa. After Parishit Maharaj from Janamadaya onwards, it has been restricted to Bharatavarsha and then Bharatakanda and then further reduced. So Dwapara Yuga, they could access Jambudipa. Kali Yuga, initially Bharatavarsha, then Bharatakanda, then the small places, etc. etc. So thus, as of today, our access is very less. We can't access everything everywhere. So, but why we are seeing the stars, constellations, zodiac signs, grahas, all these things in the night? What is the reason? We are only seeing them as a lighting objects. We are not able to see them as they are because they all belong to heavenly abode. We are seeing them because we need to make Panchanga. It is based on Panchanga only we can perform different variety of activities and we can now celebrate festivals such as Balram Jayanti, Julan Yatra and Janmashtami, Radhashtami and all we are able to celebrate because there is Panchanga. because the Panchanga is made because of the position of the planets and stars, etc. If these things are also not visible, we can't make Panchanga. What is become making Panchanga? We can't survive only. We were talking about the moon service, sun service, all these things are there. We can't survive only. So they are all given so that we can fulfill the mission of the human life. That is purification of our existence and going back to Godhead. So whatever is required to that extent is given access to us, so that we do not exploit so much. If for example, if the access is given to us, because Kali Yuga, more majority people are in the mode of ignorance, the quality of ignorance is exploiting. So we simply exploit all these places. So for that reason also, we have not given more access. So in one sense, I'm sorry to say this, but why these space expeditions? Because here the place is limited, they want to explore more space, so that somebody can make their kingdom there. So in that way, that is one of the motives also. They're trying to explore the moon and all, they so that they can get some other natural resources there, so they can bring from there, or they can send for people from there here to there. Somebody was called me in the afternoon, they're telling that. So in the upcoming years, 2029 and 30, there will be excursions to moon. The human beings were sent to moon as excursion. We, that is the motive. So that's why access is not given. This is my understanding. So Hare Krishna, bahut ho gaya. So we'll stop here. This is the last slide for this section, and we'll meet next time. We'll continue with the prayers next week onwards. Yeah, before closing, any questions?
Hare Krishna. Yes, Prabhuji, there are few questions regarding what we discussed just now. Like when we saw, we were discussing the first cosmology lecture, you explained that Priyavrat Maharaj divided the entire earth into the seven dvipas and seven.
Earth nahi, Bhumandala.
Sorry, the entire Bhumandala. Yeah, yeah. So, like that time it was divided, and then his sons divided it, the each thing into further into to their sons. Then Parikshit Maharaj came much later, no Prabhuji. So then, how to understand that he was ruling the entire Jambu Dvipa?
That time they were ruling. Now this Parikshit Maharaj are ruling. What is the problem?
No, means whatever from their descendant like that, वो जैसे नीचे आया, तो जो उनका पार्ट रहेगा उतना ही आया होगा ना परीक्षित महाराज के हिस्से में, तो वो पूरा बाकी जम्बू द्वीपा के पार्ट है.
You have not understood the concept. What do you mean by monarch? What do you mean by Chakravarti? What is the understanding of Chakravarti?
Till now, what I was understanding, one who rules the entire earth.
Again, don't use English. Earth means what? Which earth you are talking about?
Our Bhugola, whatever, like.
Bharatakanda. So not like that.
Not even
Chakravarti.
Bharatkhanda. Till now, whatever I felt, the Chakravarti Samrat means one who rules the entire earth, means the ninth part of Bharatkhanda. Yeah, that's.
See, that is the problem. So that's why we don't know properly. That's why we assume like that. Chakravarti means he who is ruling whatever he can access. In Treta Yuga and Treta Yuga and Satya Yuga, they can access the entire Bhumandala. That time Chakravarti means he is supposed to rule over the entire Bhumandala. In Dwapara Yuga, the people can only access Jambudvipa. That time Chakravarti means he is the ruler of the entire Jambudvipa. And in Kali Yuga, people can rule initially maybe only Bharata Varsha, so he is Chakravarti. Later on only Bharatakanda, he is Chakravarti. Later on only Indian continent is Chakravarti. So like that, whatever one can access, if he is able to rule that whole area, he is called Chakravarti. According to time, it is not a fixed thing. According to time, it varies.
Okay, so Parikshit Maharaj was in Kali Yuga, no Prabhuji?
But it is at the beginning of Kali Yuga, na? He is not an ordinary person. He is as good as the Pandavas. So he could rule over the entire Jambudvipa. He ruled only for 25 years. So that time, He was ruling over the entire Jambudipa. Afterward, Janmejaya onwards, he was not able to rule over entire Jambudipa.
So then it was given to somebody, means some other son of Parikshit Maharaj, like that it was.
See, the king might have 100 sons, but the eldest son only become the main ruler. The other
Yeah.
sons will only become the subordinate rulers. Even though Priyavrat Maharaj, when he divided them into different divisions, the eldest son is the monarch, Chakravarti Samrat. Remaining sons will be subordinate rulers.
Okay.
Always the eldest son will become the main ruler.
Yeah,
So it
you
is like
had
that.
explained that the Parikshit, Priyavrat Maharaj eldest son was the
But Priyavrat
actual.
Maharaj thing is during Swayambhu Manvantara. Right now we are in Vyavashta Manvantara.
Uh,
So whoever is ruling that time, sometimes some from Surya Vamsha one become monarch. Sometimes Chandra Vamsha one becomes monarch. For example, King Ambarish Maharaj is from Surya Vamsha. King Mandata is also from Surya Vamsha. Sagara is also from Surya Vamsha. Lord Rama is also from Surya Vamsha. But Puru is from Chandra Vamsha. Puru is not from Surya Vamsha, he is from Chandra Vamsha. And Kartavir Arjuna or the Bharat Maharaj is also from Chandra Vamsha. Kartavir Arjuna also from Chandra Vamsha. So sometimes from Surya Vamsha one becomes monarch, sometimes Chandra Vamsha one becomes monarch. It keeps changing. Whichever king is more powerful, he can become monarch. Why not?
Okay, actually,
Hmm.
privilege, there are a lot of confusions in the sense, like you mentioned that that was in another Manvantara, and this is much later and Vaivasvat Manvantara, what we
Hmm.
are seeing. So after each Manvantara changes, like there is Anshik Pralaya, na Prabhuji. So in that
See,
Anshik Pralaya, what all gets destroyed? Like means what I'm
Anshi
trying to
Pralaya,
understand.
nothing gets destroyed. People die and again they take birth, again continue to live.
Okay, so all the gross structures remain as it is. That's what
As it
you.
is. Hmm.
Okay, okay, okay.
Okay,
And one more.
when there is a flood, the whole village is gone. No one knows where it has gone. Flood में चला गया. And later,
Huh,
when the flood is subsided, again people construct new homes.
right. Okay. Okay. So whatever देवराज महाराज के चैरियट से जो ओशन वगैरह बने थे वो सब वैसे ही थे आफ्टर
हाँ वैसे ही थे
द
वैसे थे वैसे थे.
okay, okay, okay. And another thing we were discussing, Prabhuji, about these places and their references in the Bhagavatam, like. So we saw recently that King Rahugana was in Palki, was going to Kapilashrama for getting some knowledge from Kapil Dev, like that. So,
Hmm.
like we saw that Kapilashrama is somewhere near Patalana, Prabhuji. Like,
I don't know. Is he going towards Kapilashram?
yeah, it was mentioned in that he
No, no.
also
You are the
says.
king of Sindhu and Savira. You are just going. I don't think so. He was going to Kapilashram to gain knowledge. I'm not sure. I don't remember that.
It was mentioned there, Prabhuji, that he was going to Kapi. He also said at one or two places that mention was there that he was going to Kapilashrama. So I was wondering, like, Prince Suvera is somewhere near that.
See,
Uh,
even though you may say Kapilashram, so we can say that there could be another Kapilashram nearby also. That Kapila may not be Lord Kapila. There could be another sage who was there during that time.
okay.
So like
Yeah,
that.
that's what I was wondering. In
There
Palki,
could
how
be a
can.
Kapilashram in that place also. See, it is not that Lord Kapila only live in Patala Loka. He can stay at many places also. Here in Mandi, we
Yeah,
have this Parashara. There is a Parashara lake. In here, local people say that Parashara Muni always stays here only. But he is not visible to us. He can be here also. He can be somewhere else also. So it is
okay.
like that.
Yeah. And Prabhuji, from second, third lecture, I have been thinking when we discuss about the descent of Ganga. Na, that
Hmm.
time you showed us that where in which part of Himalaya in this Himalaya, whatever greater Himalayas, there is a part and where the Lord Shankara resides along with
Here
the
you see,
Parvati.
somewhere here.
Yeah, yeah.
Hmm.
And he is the one who means when Bhagirath Maharaj was inviting Ganga, Ganga said that my force will not be it will divide the earth. So somebody should be there to stop my force, and Shivji accepted it. So, but that was the time when Ganga had become invisible for some time, no, Prabhuji, and
Hmm.
then that is how they requested her to come back again. So
Yes.
before that also Ganga was coming to Bharatvarsha, right?
Okay.
Means in between it वो लुप्त हो गई थी. So
Hmm.
before when she came, that time also Shivji had accepted it on his jata, or that time she just came like that, and next time when she had come, that time this condition was there.
I don't know, but from a normal point of view, we can say that previously she might have come directly, but this time she does not want to come. Oh, bahana kar rahe the. I don't want to come to, instead of saying that, she was telling that if I come with high speed, I will create a hole in the earth. Please do something or something like that. We can
That's
say
what
like
I
that.
was wondering. That first time she came, that time it didn't make hole. Then why the
Hmm.
second time she been
Hmm.
said like that?
Yeah,
And
it's like that.
another thing, Prabhuji, that Hanumanji went during the war when Lakshmana fell unconscious. Hanumanji went to Himalaya to get that Vanaspatina for medicine. So he
Hmm.
also must have went to the greater Himalayas, no, Prabhuji?
Hopefully. Yeah, especially when Rama and Mahabharata talking about Himalayas, they actually hint at greater Himalayas only.
Okay, I guess there is some reference of Gandhamadan Parvat also, Prabhuji,
This is
in
Gandhamadana
Hanuman.
mountain.
Yeah,
This
so
is
he went actually there to get that.
actually there is one Gandhamadana mountain here. There is another Gandhamadana mountain in the Himalayas also. Just like this mountain is also called Kailash, this mountain is also called Kailash. There is one more mountain section within the Greater Himalayas is also called Gandhamadana.
Okay.
Hmm.
Because in that Maruti Stotra also, Prabhuji, that one reference comes that Meru Mandara Dhakute. So means from childhood I have been hearing that, but now we saw somewhere here, yeah, and I'm not able to look at in this diagram, but Meru Mandar
See,
Parvat
Meru
what?
is here. Meru is here, and this is Mandara mountain.
Achha, both are separate. Okay, okay.
This is Meru, this is Mandara, and this is
Okay,
Gandhamadana.
okay, okay, okay. And Alakapuri, which you mentioned, where the
It is here.
Pandavas.
This is
Yeah,
Alkapuri,
so
where Kuvera
that was
stays.
that is a second residence, na Prabhuji, because one Alkapuri we saw on this Mount Meru top. There are some abodes of the.
This is primary. This is primary. The Mount Meru top
Oh,
Alkapuri. No, Mount Meru
that
top
is
there is no Alkapuri. No, no, there was no
there is no
Alkapuri in Mount
Alkapuri.
Meru. No, no,
Okay,
there is no. Kuvera is not one of the 8 Lokapalas. Only the 8 Lokapalas have their townships on top of Mount Meru, not
okay,
Kuvera. Kuvera only has one place here, Alkapuri, nowhere else.
okay, okay, fine.
Another place that belongs to Kuvera was Lanka. Lanka was actually made for Kuvera. Originally, Kuvera used to stay in Lanka. When Kuvera was thrown away by Ravana from Lanka, he came to Alkapuri. Since then he residing in Alkapuri.
Okay, okay, fine. Okay,
Okay, okay,
Prabhuji,
Mataji. Other question, other
yeah,
devotees
yeah.
have any questions?
No,
Hare
Prabhuji,
Krishna.
thank
Other
you very
devotees have any questions?
Prabhuji, last time whatever you we discussed now, I when I read from the book, I have some questions. I will send you on the WhatsApp.
No, no, no. Wait, wait. If other devotees have no question, you ask now only. Don't send on WhatsApp. It takes a lot of time to respond.
Yeah, yeah. Actually, that becomes difficult. Like
Yeah, you
Prabhuji,
ask now.
okay. So this measurements of the three regions, it has been written now. So there it is written of the three regions mentioned. The circular Earth occupies a circular stretch having a diameter little more than the 7 crore yojanas. So whatever Earth has been mentioned, that means the Jambudvipana, or the Earth means the our.
See, which earth, which circular earth, this presentation you're talking about?
No, 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 no,
Hmm.
Roji. Like how should the structure of the universe as per Bhugol Varnanam, that part is
That's
there.
what this matlab, this Bhugola Varnanam only. The circular earth
Ah,
includes this one, this whole thing. That is all here. What is this one? All the way up to Brahma Bhumi. This is all known as circular earths, which include Jambudvipa and all the
so
seven Dvipas, Swarna Bhumi. This all put together is the dimension mentioned there.
so Earth means whole of the Jambudvipa, what we say.
No, Mataji, please, again, you don't use English. That is called Vrittakara Prithvi. That means Loka Varsha. From Madhva scholars, circular earth means Loka Varsha, which
Okay.
consists of 7 Dvipas, 7 oceans, and Swarna Bhumi and Vajralepa. All these things put together. That is, in the Bhagavatam, it is called Loka Varsha.
Okay, so when we say that eight what that gajas means
Hmm.
the elephants they carry on their head, that is
Hmm.
this loka varsha they are carrying.
Yeah, they 8 elephants carry this entire thing, whatever you see in this picture. This whole thing they carry on their back.
Loka varsha, na? Yeah,
Hmm.
yeah.
Yes.
Okay. And Prabhuji, one more thing is, I didn't understand what is the difference between that Vishnu Kurma and Vayu Kurma. Like, I tried to read again and again, but
See,
quite
Vishnu Kurma means Bhagavan Vishnu transformed himself into Kurma. He is Kurma avatar. Vayu Kurma means Vayu Deva transformed into Kurma Deva.
so the one on which the Shesha is there, that is which
Uh,
Kurma Prabhuji? That
according
is
to
Vishnu.
Madhvas scholars, it is Vayu Kurma. According to Bhagavatam and other Vedic Padma Purana and all, it is Vishnu Kurma. It is Lord Vishnu himself, Kurma Avatara himself.
Okay.
See,
Okay.
at sometimes Bhagavan Vishnu himself does that service. At other times, he empowers one of his great devotee to do the service. Since Vayu is a great devotee, he is doing that. Like Shesha also we mentioned previously, and we also talk about it when we come to this chapter. Sometimes when there is no qualified person, Lord Vishnu himself appears as Shesha and holds the Bhumandala upon his head. When there is a Jiva who can do that service, Lord Vishnu empowers him to do that service. That time he is called Shakti Avesh Avatar. So Vayu Kurma is Shakti Avesh Avatar and Vishnu Kurma is Vishnu Tattva.
Vishnu Tattva. Okay. And
So
it
like
can be
that.
different kalpas. It may be different, na,
What to
like
speak
that.
of different kalpas, even now also both of them can do. When there was no one to do it, Vishnu does himself. When there is someone to do, and he will be given the responsibility. When he says, my dear sir, I am done, I am going. So he will go. When he goes away again, Vishnu does. Again, when new person, new volunteer comes, he will do it. Like our temple services.
Okay.
When
It
there is
keeps
no one is there in
changing.
charge, only will do service. When some volunteer comes, a volunteer will do, and in charge will take rest.
Okay, okay,
Hmm.
okay. Yeah. And one more thing, Prabhuji, it is mentioned that Adishesha by himself is not competent to support the worlds. Its strength is derived from the Supreme Lord Sankarsana, whom
Hmm.
he worships in his heart. The
Hmm.
space occupied by Adishesha on Ghanodaka is 99,000 yojanas.
Hmm.
So it means he sprayed in that much 99,000 yojanas, his coils are sprayed like that. We should understand
No,
how
no. Height,
or
height.
who.
Height. This we will see, discuss later on. See, the gap
Okay,
between the Garbhodaka Sagara and the Bhumandala is about 1 lakh yojanas. So in that, 99,000 yojanas is occupied by Shesha and 1,000 yojanas is given to Kurma, because most of the body of the Kurma is inside the water, Garbhodaka ocean,
instead what?
and
Yeah.
small portion is coming out of the water. There, Shesha is resting. So like that you
Okay,
should understand. Hmm.
okay, okay.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji,
Ah, yes,
just one
Mataji.
small. This Brahma Bhumi, which is beyond the diamond land,
Hmm.
what does it? What does it signify? Like, what is it?
Significance is that land belongs to Brahmaji. It
Okay.
is called a Brahma Bhumi. It is a small tract of land on the boundary, outer boundary, that belongs to Lord
Mhm.
Brahma. So like everyone has
O-
property, no? Like that, that is Brahma's property.
Okay.
So like
And
that
what
we
is
can
there in?
say. There is nothing. See, I would say this is the golden land. This is diamond land. So this could be, what would be more valuable than diamond? Would be ivory, platinum. So this
Okay.
entire
Or
land
some
is
people.
like that. It is more costly land. We can say like that.
Okay.
Hmm.
Thank you. Thank you
It is
very much
outer
for
out
this.
is basically the outer border, outer edge of the universe. So whenever all of you know, when you make rangoli or when you stitch some clothing, special stitching where some special embroidery and all, there is a special emphasis on the border. That border actually costs a lot. So same concept here also. This is the border of the Bhumandala, the Loka Varsha.
Mhm. Okay.
So since it is
Thank you
very
very much.
costly, it belongs to Brahma. It is called Brahma Bhumi.
Mhm. Thank you
Brahmaji
very much.
actually stays there, Prabhuji, sometimes.
No, he does not stay. No one stays there. It belongs to him only, but it does not stay.
Okay.
And no one steals also. It will be there only, always.
Okay. No one goes only, so who can steal it like that?
Mm.
Yeah. Prabhuji, one more thing, like last time you had
If
shown us.
our Kalyuga people have given access to it, they will steal this golden land and diamond land, this ivory land, everything will they will steal. That's why they are not given the access.
Yeah. Good only.
Okay.
Prabhuji,
I, uh,
last time you had shown us one diagram from Bhugola Varnanam, Prabhuji, and in book also it is there, and it is written there like that underneath the earth born by Adishesha, Ganodaka extends to a depth of 24 crore 99 lakh yojanas, where it
uh,
touches the golden shell of Brahmanda.
mm,
The shell itself is 100 crore yojanas in thickness, and it rests on the back of Vishnu Kurma, almost like an atom. So, in
mm,
the case of Adishesha, the weight of the vast earth is compared to that of a mustard seed. In case of a Vishnu Kurma, the weight of a Brahmanda with entire universe in it is compared to that of an atom. So means whenever the Lord is holding, means Lord Himself is there as a Vishnu Kurma. That time that weight is even negligent, even less than atom like that. But
yes, yes, yes.
when the Jiva Tattva or other person or Vayu Kurma is there, that time that weight will be like an mustard seed like that. We should
Mm,
understand.
mm. See, they are
Yeah,
only simply glorifying the Lord. When Shesha
yeah,
is holding, he will feel it as like a mustard seed, but when Lord is holding, he feels like a Paramanu. So for Lord, it is negligible. So just to highlight the greatness of the Lord, that's all.
yeah. Actually, this whole thing is so so amazing. You know, the whole cosmology. It really makes us understand the greatness of the Lord. Like,
Mm. Yes, ultimately
and
that is the purpose.
yeah, and Prabhuji, in the Jambudvipa part, now you have mentioned that the island in the middle of the circular earth means,
Mm.
I guess it is according to the Google Varnanam, consisting of 7 islands and extending
Circular
up to.
earth in the Bhugola means the entire Loka Varsha, consisting of seven
Ah,
Deepas, seven
yes,
oceans,
okay.
Swarnabhumi, and Diamond
Yeah,
Land. All these put together is called circular earth.
yeah, understood now because that was the confusion all the time happening.
Mm. That
And
circular earth
Prabhuji,
is not Bharatakanda.
yeah, and it is mentioned that the mountain resembles the Unmatta flower, the Meru Parvat, it is written.
Mm.
And at the base of it has a weight of 16,000 and it goes on expanding above. And
Mm.
there also means on the, it's along the height, the different siddhas and yogis dwell. So like
Mm.
on the other parvatas, which are triangular sort of a structure, but this is inverted triangular kind of a structure. Still, the rishis and munis are staying on the Meru Parvat.
They can stay in the caves. Na? Mountain is mountain, but in mountain caves are there horizontally. So in the caves they can live without any issue.
Okay. Okay. And one last thing, Prabhuji, this Ganga River के बारे में लिखा है. The Ganga River flows both in visible and invisible forms, and
Mm.
it is also in the form of the stars of the Milky Way,
Mm.
known as Akash Ganga. It is
Mm.
said that if there is rain in the daytime without any clouds in the sky, that rainwater is directly dropped down from Akash Ganga.
Mm.
Whoever takes, so I didn't understand quite. It is what exactly means Akash Ganga. What we say that is a Ganga water only, which is flowing up like that. We should understand.
See, simple. The Ganga which is coming from Satyaloka, passing through other lokas, comes to Dhruvaloka. From Dhruvaloka to Mount Meru. This from year to year Ganga coming down. This
Yeah.
Ganga is called Akash Ganga because it has no surface upon which it can travel. It is just coming in the ether only. Since it is traveling from Dhruvaloka to Mount Meru in the Akasha, it is called Akasha Ganga. And that Akash Ganga can be seen like the cluster of stars. The people call it as Milky Way. They are trying to compare this. Madhva translators are comparing it to be Milky Way. So whatever cluster of star we see in the sky, like the night time, that could be Akash Ganga only. Like that they are saying. So how do we understand that Akash Ganga is existing in the ether? The understanding is that normally we get rain from clouds. There should be the source of the rain is cloud. But sometimes the rain comes without any clouds. That water is coming directly from the Akash Ganga. Though Akash Ganga is coming from here to Mount Meru, and from Mount Meru to jumping down and passing through all the mountains. From the greater Himalayas, say for example, I mean we have this experience which in childhood we used to visit every year for Vinayak Chauthi. In order to Nimarjan of Ganeshji, we used to go to Srishalam. That is where Krishnaveni Nadi flows, and upon that there is a dam. So when the water is in the rainy season, especially the Vinayak Chauthi means, I mean now this season only. I mean it is very soon coming. Just immediately after Janmashtami is coming. So the rains will be there, lot of water. When the water is falling down from the top of the dam, some moisture will be spreading all directions. Even though we are at 2-3 kilometers away, we get the feeling of the water droplets touching us. Water droplets can go to that extent nearby in the vicinity. Same way that Akasha Ganga, since it is coming from the top of the universe, the moisture can go nearby area that can fall in the form of rains. That rain has are coming from Akasha Ganga. It is also said that if somebody bathes in that rain, they will be freed from all sinful reactions. When we go to Mayapur or Vrindavan, we take bath in Yamuna or Ganga to get purified ourselves. This is our accessible Ganga. If we are get bathed in the original Ganga, the Akash Ganga itself, then how much more pure and powerful that is. That will actually purify all one's contamination like that, they say. So like
So,
that.
but that opportunity must be means we here we may not must not be getting no probably the other varshas or
See
some.
who gets and all different details. If it is there, from where it is coming, we are understanding the principle. Who will get and all, I mean, how do I know?
Yeah, no means I thought that where such rain falls, you may be knowing like that.
Anyway, I don't.
Okay, Prabhuji. Thank you so
Okay,
much,
thank you,
Prabhuji.
thank you. Hare Krishna. आई एम सॉरी एक्चुअली टाइम हो गया है मैं जल्दी जल्दी कंप्लीट करने के सर का घर में प्रोग्राम चल रहा है ऑलरेडी 8:40 हो गए सो
Okay, sorry.
हरे कृष्णा थैंक यू वेरी मच विल स्टॉप हियर फॉर टुडे एंड विल कंटिन्यू नेक्स्ट वीक सो
जवा माइक्रो
Yeah.
एनो अर्थ के 7 7:30 कला
ओके